Chapter 5807 Yin Qingqing is dead? Vice-Chancellor Xiao felt that what Lecturer Yao said made sense. Compared to the thunder marsh grass, the thunder cone tree was indeed easier to pass through. Thus, the crowd returned to the thunder cone tree's sphere of influence. Lecturer Yao emphasized the thunder cone tree's deadly poison and ordered everyone to follow closely behind him in a row. There couldn't be any mistakes. The students nodded in agreement. They had not lived long enough, so why would they provoke the thunder cone tree? Xiao Lianqiu's eyes flashed. Before Nangongsher could react, she squeezed to Yin Chujia's side and walked side by side with Yin Chujio. Nangongsher wanted to speak, but Lecturer Yao's urging came from the front, so he could only endure it. A ruthless look flashed in Xiao Lianqiu's eyes. Although Vice Director Xiaofu had told her not to act rashly, she couldn't wait to let Yin Chujio disappear in front of her. She couldn't hold it in any longer. If she pushed Yin Qingqing into the range of the thunder cone tree's attack when she passed, she would definitely die. Although she might be affected, she had a defensive spirit tool on her, so the seeds of the thunder cone tree were nothing to be afraid of. As for whether it would affect the others, it was not within her consideration. Right now, she only wanted to kill Yin Qingqing for revenge. Yin Chujio was so smart. Even if she used her heel to think, she would know what Xiao Lianqiu was thinking. The corners of her mouth curled up. She was worried that she would not have the chance to feed the Gowei Batsao. This Xiao Lianqiu was really sensible. After a moment, everyone entered the thunder cone tree's territory. When they passed by a thunder cone tree, Xiao Lianqiu fiercely pushed Yin Chujio out. Yin Chujio cried out in shock, and her body fell towards the thunder cone tree. Nangongsher, who was behind her, was about to pull it, but unexpectedly, the thunder cone tree's fruit exploded, and countless black seeds shot out towards everyone. Everyone immediately fell into chaos. They all set up their spiritual energy shields and activated their defensive spiritual devices. Hei Xinjiu, who was pushed out, was the first to bear the brunt. Several black seeds shot onto her body. It was unknown whether she was scared silly or not. She actually did not raise her spirit energy shield and allowed those seeds to hit her body. The impact of those black seeds was very strong. They directly pierced through Hei Xinjia's academy uniform and turned her into a sieve. Nangongsher's head buzzed. It was over. Yin Qingqing was dead for sure. She was definitely dead beyond compare. Not to mention that those seeds were highly poisonous. Even if they weren't, they were already shot into a sieve. How could she still be alive? Nangongsher's eyes were red as he looked at Xiao Lianqiu, who was gloating over her misfortune. Xiao Lianqiu, why did you push Yin Qingqing? Your thoughts are too vicious. Xiao Lianqiu's wish was fulfilled. She did not mind Nangongsher's questioning and said casually, I pushed her? Don't you slander me. She clearly fell down by accident. Nangongsher was so angry that his face turned ashen. How could she fly so far away when she fell down? Moreover, Xiao Lianqiu had squeezed into the same row as Yin Qingqing. It was obvious that she did not have good intentions. He clenched his fists. Now was not the time to settle the score. It was better to get Yin Qingqing's body back first. No matter what, he could not let her body be left in the wilderness. He was about to take a step forward to get Yin Chujia's body back, but was stopped by Lecturer Yao. Nangongsher, do you not want to live anymore? If you provoke the thunder cone tree again, it will explode its seeds. We will all suffer. Moreover, the thunder cone tree's seeds are highly poisonous, and Yin Qingqing's body will soon be corroded into a pool of black water. Even if you bring her body back, it will be useless. Chapter 5808 Patience required even more courage. Nangongsher's eyes were bloodshot. He really could not accept that Yin Qingqing, who was still alive and kicking just a moment ago, had turned into a dead body. Moreover, in the end, even her corpse would no longer exist. His gaze fell on Xiao Lianqiu. He wished that he could immediately kill her and avenge Yin Qingqing. However, he knew that he could not make a move, because both Vice-Chancellor Xiao and Lecturer Yao would stop him. He had to endure it. He could only wait until he returned to the 10 Directions Academy to give Yin Qingqing justice. He finally understood what Ding Wenru said about having to endure. Sometimes it took more courage to endure, and it was even more painful. At this time, Lecturer Yao and Vice-Chancellor Xiao urged everyone to continue moving forward. Nan Gongshi gritted his teeth and clenched his fists. Finally, he glanced at Yin Chujia's corpse and turned to leave. After walking for some distance, he couldn't help but turn around to look at Yin Chujia's corpse again. However, he saw He Xinjia's corpse raise its right hand and wave at him. It even raised its head and winked at him. Nan Gongshi staggered and almost fell to the ground. When he turned around to look again, he realized that Yin Chujia's corpse wasn't moving at all. It was no different from before. Nan Gongshi was completely dumbfounded. Could it be that he was hallucinating just now? It must be an illusion. Yin Qingqing had been shot by so many thunder cone tree seeds. She definitely wouldn't survive. How could she still be able to wave her hands and blink at him? Nan Gongshi turned his head to look a few more times, but he didn't find anything unusual. He sighed in his heart. It seemed that it was really an illusion. An hour later, they finally left the thunder cone tree's territory and could not help but let out a long sigh. At this time, Vice-Chancellor Xiao suddenly said, "Lecturer Yao, you guys continue to move forward. I will go back and take a look. If Yin Qingqing's body is not corroded, I will try my best to bring her body back to the academy. After all, she is a student of the academy. We cannot let her body be exposed in the wilderness." Everyone was stunned. Almost everyone knew that Vice-Chancellor Xiao disliked Yin Qingqing. They did not expect that Vice-Chancellor Xiao would be so magnanimous. Director Xiaofu was not a person who could be so magnanimous. However, it was also true. A person's death was like the extinguishing of a lamp. No matter how great the enmity was, it would vanish into thin air. Moreover, if Yin Qingqing's corpse was brought back, it could also be considered as an explanation of the cause of her death. Nan Gongshi was a little conflicted. On one hand, he wanted Vice-Chancellor Xiao to bring Yin Qingqing's corpse back. On the other hand, he thought of the strange situation earlier. If Yin Qingqing was not dead, wouldn't it be terrible if Vice-Chancellor Xiao went back? Therefore, he gritted his teeth and said, "Director Xiaofu, PLL go with you. Don't worry, I have a defensive spirit tool with me. I won't drag you down." Director Xiaofu wanted to go back and take Yin Chujia's storage ring. Naturally, he didn't want Nan Gongshi to be an eyesore. He said with a straight face, "No matter how many defensive spirit tools you have, you can't. Just wait here obediently." After finishing his sentence, Vice Director Xiaofu signaled Lecturer Yao with his eyes and quickly turned back. Nan Gongshi wanted to chase after him, but was stopped by Lecturer Yao. Nan Gongshi was so anxious that he gritted his teeth, but there was nothing he could do. Vice Director Xiaofu was very excited. As long as he could get Yin Qingqing's storage ring, he would be able to find the treasure mentioned by the 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor insect, and he would be able to get rid of that damned grasshopper. If his guess was right, that treasure would definitely have a restraining effect on the 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor insect. At that time, he would definitely make that damn grasshopper suffer a fate worse than death. In addition, as long as he got the ring, the spirit stones and lightning strike stones that had been sent out by that damn grasshopper would all return to his hands. How could he not be excited? Chapter 5809 Tree was scared away while Director Xiaofu was getting excited. There was a continuous crackling sound in the distance. Director Xiaofu stopped in his tracks. What was going on? Director Xiaofu jumped onto a tree next to him and looked up. He saw that the thunder cone trees were already covered in black seeds, and the thunder cone trees were waving their branches and leaves crazily. How did the thunder cone trees become like this? Director Xiaofu frowned. Although his cultivation was not bad, under such circumstances, he did not dare to move forward rashly. He could only wait for the thunder cone trees to calm down before moving closer. Otherwise, it would not be worth it if he lost his life. Anyway, even if Yin Qingqing's corpse turned into black water, the storage ring would not melt. As time passed, the sound of the explosion became quieter and quieter. Just as Director Xiaofu was about to move forward to search for the storage ring, he was stunned to find that a tree was running towards him. When he looked closely, it was actually a thunder cone tree. Director Xiaofu was completely dumbfounded. What was going on? He did not know as much about Yao plants as Lecturer Yao, so he was momentarily stunned. What confused him was that behind the thunder cone tree, there were a few thunder cone trees that were running towards him quickly. Director Xiaofu could not figure out the situation for a moment. He was afraid that the thunder cone trees would attack him, so he quickly turned around and ran. For the time being, he could not care about Yin Chujia's storage ring. What Director Xiaofu did not know was that a few miles away from him, He Xinjie was happily absorbing the power of lightning underground. After the guy faked his death and saw that Vice Director Xiaofu and the others had left, he got up and began to collect the seeds of the thunder cone tree. Seeing that she was not dead, the thunder cone tree sprayed again, but it was useless. Gowei Batsao swallowed a handful of seeds and felt that it was not enough. It asked Yin Chujio to cut open the trunk of the thunder cone tree so that it could directly absorb the venom. He Xinjio immediately took the large kitchen knife and chopped the trunk of the thunder cone tree. The unlucky thunder cone tree was quickly sucked dry of its juice and turned into a withered tree. When the other thunder cone trees saw this, they attacked He Xinjio crazily. However, it was useless. There was nothing they could do. The thunder cone trees had no choice but to uproot and run away. Although they had lost this precious land of feng shui, it was still better than turning into a withered tree branch. Just as He Xinjio was about to chase after them, Xiao Mogu reminded her that there was the power of lightning underground. He Xinjio immediately released Xiao Mogu and began to absorb the power of lightning. She was so beautiful that she was about to bubble. On the other side, Director Xiaofu managed to dodge the lightning cone trees with great difficulty and rushed towards Yin Chujio. At this moment, He Xinjio had just finished absorbing the power of lightning underground. She heard footsteps and slipped into the dense vegetation nearby. When Director Xiaofu saw the dead lightning cone tree, he could not help but turn pale with fright. He searched the place where Yin Chujio's body was originally, but he did not find the storage ring. He could not help but frown. At this moment, the 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug in his body cursed. "You idiot! You should have put the stinky girl's body away just now. Now, her storage ring must have been picked up by someone else. I've never seen a loser like you. Well, it seems that I have to do it myself." Deputy Director Xiaofu didn't know anything before he could object. After the 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor insect seized control of the body, it first moved its limbs, then sniffed and looked at a nearby plant. Chapter 58:10 Who hit it? The 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug revealed a cold smile and slapped the plant. The palm wind instantly turned the plant into dust, but there was nothing unusual. The 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug was stunned. It clearly smelled the scent of a human. How could there be nothing? Could it be that its sense of smell was wrong because it used this trash's body? The 1,000-year corpse turtle emperor insect didn't give up. It searched around for a while, but still didn't find anything. The 1,000-year corpse turtle emperor insect was so angry that it was twitching. It was all this trash's fault. If he had put away that smelly Gerpies corpse at that time, why would there be so much trouble? This was great. It was unknown whether the corpse stabilizing pearl had been picked up by someone else or swallowed by a demon beast. Where could it find it? As long as the corpse stabilizing pearl still existed in this world, it was a great threat to it. It was all because of this damn trash. The more the 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor insect thought about it, the angrier it got. It slapped Director Ziafa's face twice, and then returned his body to Director Xiaofu. As soon as Director Xiaofu regained consciousness, he felt a burning pain on his face. He took out a mirror and looked at the swollen pig-like face in the mirror. He was going crazy. "Sir, what? What's going on? Who hit you?" Director Xiaofu said angrily with his spiritual sense. The 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug snorted. "I hit you. Why do you have a problem with that? If it weren't for you, I would have found the treasure long ago. I have already let you off the hook for not killing you." Director Xiaofu gritted his teeth. In his heart, he wished that he could cut the 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug into 1,000 pieces. However, he could only swallow his anger and say, "Sir, there shouldn't be anyone else nearby. Yin Qingcheng's storage ring was most likely swallowed by a demonic beast or something. There aren't many people here. Even if you can't find that treasure, it won't be a threat to you. The 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug snorted. What you said is easy. I clearly felt that there were other people here, but I couldn't find them. Forget it. I'm too lazy to waste my breath on a fool like you. I want to rest for a while. Don't disturb me. Director Ziaph's face was livid, but he didn't dare to say anything. He took out a medicine that could reduce swelling and dissolve bruises, and smeared it on his face. Only then did he chase after Lecturer Yao and the others. After Director Xiaofu walked far away, a little girl appeared where the 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor insect's palm wind swept. If it wasn't Yun Chujio, then who was it? This fellow hid in the great void mystic realm, the moment the 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor insect raised its hand, and only then did he manage to dodge that palm strike. Although this fellow did not think that Director Ziaph's Thunder Spirit Root posed too much of a threat, she did not know why, but she felt that there was something wrong with Director Xiaofu. To be on the safe side, she still hid in the great void mystic realm. Moreover, she could not explain why the thunder cone tree had run away, but she stayed where she was. She could not see what was happening outside through the great void mirror, but the ball of yarn could. It told her what it saw. Yin Chujio frowned. Director Xiaofu had slapped her twice? Was he crazy? He probably came back to look for her storage ring. After all, she had extorted a lot of spiritual stones and thunder strike stones from him. But why did she slap herself? Could it be that she was annoyed that she did not put away her corpse at the first moment? Yin Chujio could not figure it out, but she was sure that there was something wrong with Director Xiaofu. There must be some secret. She then thought of the abnormal behavior of Director Xiaofu when she extorted him twice, and a bold and strange idea came to her mind. Chapter 5811 turned out to be an escape. Director Ziaph's abnormality was very similar to the situation where she had lost control of her body to Gowei Batsao. Could it be that Director Xiaofu had been possessed by something? This thought was like a bolt of lightning splitting open the fog. The more Yun Chujio thought about it, the more she felt that the possibility was very high. The 2 times she had extorted him, Director Ziaph's words and actions were really very different from his usual behavior. If he wasn't possessed by something, how could Director Xiaofu be so generous? Then the question came, what exactly was he possessed by? Yun Chujio carefully recalled Director Ziaph's words and actions, especially the 2 times he was extorted. Bloodthirsty Insect Valley? Pond? Cave? Treasure? Could it be? Yun Chujio's face revealed a shocked expression. No wonder Director Ziaph's face had been stale for a long time, since he returned from Bloodthirst Insect Valley. No wonder he hurriedly found an excuse to leave when she used Zongzi to treat him last time. Could it be that Director Xiaofu had been possessed by the 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug? The more Yun Chujio thought about it, the more she felt that her guess was correct. Although the cultivation of the 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug was not very stable, it was still equivalent to the demigod cultivation of a cultivator. How could it be killed so easily? So it was a golden cicada that had escaped its shell. It was really smart. According to the pretty boy, the 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug was very afraid of the corpse stabilizing pearl. Therefore, it must be anxious to find the corpse stabilizing pearl and destroy it. As for why the 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug didn't kill her directly, it probably wasn't sure if the corpse stabilizing pearl was on her body, so it repeatedly tested her. After Yun Chujio figured out the key, her dark eyes rolled around, and she smiled sinisterly. Little grasshopper, well see. On the other side, Deputy Director Xiaofu caught up with Lecturer Yao and the others in front. Although the swelling on Director Ziaph's face had mostly subsided, it could still be seen, especially since there was a palm print on it. Everyone could not help but be dumbfounded. Director Xiaofu had been slapped by someone? Who was so bold? Moreover, there was no one else here. Lecturer Yao tactfully did not ask about Director Xiaofu's face, but said, Director Xiaofu, have you found Yin Qingcheng's body? Also, there seemed to be a strange movement in the direction of the thunder cone tree just now. What happened? Yin Qingcheng's body has probably turned into black water. When I went there, I found nothing, but I found a dead thunder cone tree. I don't know what happened to the other thunder cone trees, but they actually escaped from the previous place and ran into the distance. Lecturer Yao, this thunder cone tree can actually move? The thunder cone trees can indeed move. Their attributes are similar to the thunder mushroom. They like places where the power of lightning is rich and moist, so they often migrate to live. It's probably the place where they originally grew. The power of lightning has been completely absorbed by them, so they chose to migrate, Lecturer Yao explained. Although what you said makes sense, why did a lightning cone tree die? Director Xiaofu asked in confusion. Lecturer Yao shook his head. I'm not sure about this. Maybe there was an unexpected situation. Nangongsha heard the conversation between the two clearly. For some reason he had a strange thought. Maybe the dead tree and the escaping lightning cone trees were all related to Yan Qingqing. He thought about it carefully just now. Yan Qingqing was very strange. Even if Xiao Lianqiao had plotted against her, she shouldn't have not even remembered to release her spiritual energy shield. It was more like she was deliberately attacked by the thunder cone tree. When he saw her waving her hand at him and blinking, perhaps it wasn't an illusion but real. So she really wasn't dead. Chapter 58:12. Wait for me, forget it. No matter what happens, collecting the lightning strike stone is more important, Director Xiaofu said. Everyone immediately continued to head towards the origin of the lightning strike stone. Xiao Lianqiao was in a very good mood. She had finally gotten rid of Yan Qingqing, the stumbling block. The northern army was hers. At this moment, a clear voice came from behind. Wait for me. Everyone turned around and saw a little girl covered in blood running towards them. Yan Qingqing? Wasn't she dead? Could it be a ghost? Xiao Lianqiao's smile froze on her face. She wasn't dead. How was this possible? She must be hallucinating. She pinched herself with all her strength and grimaced in pain, confirming the fact that Yan Chujio wasn't dead. She gnashed her teeth in hatred and asked, Yan Qingqing, you're not dead? How are you not dead? Yan Chujio stopped in her tracks, her face full of anger. Xiao Lianqiao, from what you mean? Do you wish for me to die? No wonder you pushed me. So you want me to die, so that you can take over my brother Beiyu. Yes and yes? You shameless bitch, I'll fight it out with you. He Xinjiu said and threw a palm at Xiao Lianqiao, but was stopped by Director Xiaofu. Director Xiaofu's mood was a bit complicated. Yan Chujius not dead should be good news for him. After all, the thing that the 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug was looking for might be on her. Yan Qingqing, weren't you shot by the thunder cone tree seed? How did you keep your life? Director Xiaofu stared at Yan Chujius' face and asked. At that time, I felt a sharp pain and I didn't know anything. Later, I felt someone lifting me up. I wanted to open my eyes but I couldn't. However, I vaguely felt that that person had fed me something. It seemed to be liquid. When I regained consciousness, I found that I was still lying in the same place as before. However, the thunder cone trees were all gone. There was a dead thunder cone tree. I was both shocked and scared. I followed the tracks of the grass and trees being trampled before I caught up with you guys. Oh right, Vice Director Xiaofu, at that time, it was Xiao Lianqiao who pushed me. You won't favor her just because she's your niece, right? You have to give me justice. Yan Chuzhou glared at Xiao Lianqiao and said angrily. Vice Director Xiaofu frowned. Someone saved her? He recalled that the 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor insect mentioned that there were other people. Could it be that there really were other people in this sinkhole? Why would that person save Yan Qingqing? At this moment, Lecturer Yao slapped his thigh and said, I know. The thing he fed. The thunder cone tree's marrow can not only detoxify the seed's poison, but it also has a very good effect on recovering from external injuries. No wonder that tree withered and died. It turned out that someone had taken the tree's marrow. The thunder cone tree's bark is extremely tough, and it can even use seeds to attack. The person who came to save you not only has a very high cultivation, but he must also have a divine weapon in his hand. This also explains why the other thunder cone trees ran away. They were afraid that their tree pith would be dug out by that person. Yun Chujio. She actually hit the nail on the head with the nonsense that came out of her mouth? Although this fellow found it funny in his heart, he showed a look of realization on his face. No wonder when I woke up, I found that the wounds caused by those seeds had almost healed. It turns out that I was fed with the tree pith. It's just that I don't know why that benefactor didn't show up. I don't even know his name. In the future, even if I want to repay his kindness, I don't know who to look for. Chapter 58:13. I'll save you. Nangong Shi, who had realized that he had seen the whole truth, pursed his lips in his heart. Don't you know whether you have a benefactor or not? He was finally sure that what he had seen before was not an illusion. Yin Qingqing had really waved her hand and winked at him. Vice Director Xiaofu believed Yin Chujia's words by 80%. He still had 2 points of suspicion, but there was no conclusive evidence to show that she was lying. He had to say, "Right now our primary goal is to collect the lightning strike stone. As for the dispute between you and Xiao Lianqiao, we will decide after we return to the academy." Yes, it's all up to Vice Director Xiaofu to decide, Yun Chuzhou said respectfully. She sneered in her heart. She knew why Vice Director Xiaofu would say that. Because he planned to take her life in the 100-pit mountain range. This matter would naturally be put to rest. A fool possessed by a grasshopper still wanted to scheme against her? Dream on. After the storm passed, the group continued to move forward. Although they encountered some minor problems, they still arrived at the origin of the lightning striking stones in the end. After the incident with the lightning cone tree, although there were many scattered lightning striking stones in front of them, no one dared to act rashly. Lecturer Yao released his spiritual beast. Immediately, a huge mushroom drilled out from the ground and countless mycelium swept towards the spiritual beast. At the same time, a few giant red ants with wings flew out from the ground and shot out a few black wind blades in everyone's direction. Everyone was shocked and quickly retreated to a safe distance. Lecturer Yao pointed at the mushroom and said, "This kind of spirit mushroom is called the giant thunder mushroom. Although its habits are similar to the thunder mushroom, its grade is much higher than the thunder mushroom. Those giant red ants are called thunder-swallowing poison ants. The wind blades they release are not only very sharp, but also very poisonous. You guys should be more careful." After saying that, Lecturer Yao retreated to the back, indicating to the students that they could attack. The students had the experience from last time, so they immediately began to kill the giant thunder mushroom and the thunder-swallowing poison ants in groups of 3. He Xinjiu and Nangong Shi looked at each other. It seemed that no one was willing to join their group. It seemed that only the 2 of them could team up. What the 2 of them didn't expect was that there was someone who took the initiative to join their group. It was none other than Jiang Shuangli from the Beast Master Division. Ever since the Bloodthirsty Insect Valley's trial, Jiang Shuangli and Yin Chujiu didn't have much in Terra. However, he no longer circled around Xiao Lianqiao and focused on cultivation. Nangong Shi glanced at Yin Chujiu. Seeing that she didn't object, he didn't say anything. The 3 of them began to kill the giant thunder mushroom. To be precise, the only ones who really contributed were Nangong Shi and Jiang Shuangli. He Xinjiu was only responsible for shouting slogans at the side. "Well done, Nangong Shi, put in more effort." "Not bad, not bad. Jiang Shuangli, I have high hopes for you. Have you 2 not eaten yet? Kill them with all your might." After Nangong Shi and Jiang Shuangli finally killed a giant thunder mushroom, He Xinjiu hurriedly put it into her storage ring. Nangong Shi and Jiang Shuangli looked at each other and continued to kill the giant thunder mushroom and the thunder-devouring poison ant. After a while, He Xinjiu blinked her eyes. She couldn't return empty-handed after entering the treasure mountain. She had to think of a way to release Xiao Mogu to absorb the power of lightning. However, she had to be injured before that, so that she could sit on the ground and absorb the power of lightning openly. At this moment, a thunder-swallowing poison ant suddenly approached and shot several black poisonous blades at Jiang Shuangli's back. Yin Chujia's eyes immediately lit up and she shouted, "Jiang Shuangli, I'm here to save you." Chapter 58:14. Because we are teammates, He Xinjiu said, as she rushed over at lightning speed, blocking Jiang Shuangli behind her. The black poisonous blades shot out by the thunder-swallowing poison and all landed on Yin Chujia's body. Jiang Shuangli was shocked. and quickly turned his head to repel the thunder-swallowing poison ant. Nangongsher quickly carried Yun Chuzhou to the outer area and took out the detoxifying and bleeding-stopping pills to feed her. Jiang Shuangli looked at He Xingjiu, who was covered in blood and barely breathing, and his heart was in turmoil. He really could not understand why Yin Qingqing would risk her life to save him. Shouldn't she be annoyed with him? After all, he had targeted her countless times because he wanted to please Shaolin Xiao. Why would she do that? At this time, Yun Chuzhou opened her eyes and looked at Jiang Shuangli. The corner of her mouth revealed a relieved smile, and she said with difficulty, "It's good that you're okay. I'm finally not injured in vain." "Why? Why did you save me?" Jiang Shuangli mumbled. He knew that he should not ask this question at this time, but he really could not understand why Yin Qingqing would do this. Yin Chuzhou said weakly, "There aren't that many. There are so many whys because we're teammates. Since we're teammates, we must support each other and share life and death together. Otherwise, how can we trust each other with our backs?" Jiang Shuangli was shocked. Teammates? Just because they were teammates, Yin Qingqing could protect them with her life? Nangongsher looked at the shocked Jiang Shuangli, and then looked at Yin Chuzhou. Why did he always feel that Yin Qingqing was lying? Nangongsher shook his head and self-deprecated. How could he think of Yin Qingqing that way? She had really blocked the poisonous blade for Jiang Shuangli, and her body was almost shot into a beehive. How could she be lying? He really judged a gentleman by his petty heart. At this moment, Jiang Shuangli cupped his fists at Yin Chuzhou and said solemnly, "Yin Qingqing, I will remember your kindness for saving my life. I will definitely repay you in the future." He Xingjiu said that she didn't need it, but in her heart, she was overjoyed. Her injury was really worth it. She could absorb the power of the lightning underground and make Jiang Shuangli owe her a favor. Moreover, she could increase the power of the lightning by a little bit. It was like killing multiple birds with one stone. She said with great effort, "This is what I should do. I'm fine. It's probably because the tree marrow I took earlier has detoxification effects. So you don't have to worry about me. Go on. Continue to participate in the battle." Nangongsher and Jiang Shuangli saw that her complexion had already recovered some color. Moreover, there was also Vice Director Xiaofu and Lecturer Yao overseeing the battle. There shouldn't be any problems, so the two of them rejoined the battle. He Xingjiu, on the other hand, used the cover of her sleeve to release Xiao Mogu and began to happily absorb the power of the lightning. While Vice Director Xiaofu was paying attention to the battle, he occasionally glanced at Yin Chuzhou. He was also very puzzled. This stinky girl had always been shrewd. How could she risk her life to save Jiang Shuangli? Could it be that she had fallen in love with Jiang Shuangli again? But it didn't seem like it. Could it be that she wanted to rope Jiang Shuangli in? This stinky girl had a good plan. Whether it was Nangongsher or Jiang Shuangli, both of their family backgrounds were extraordinary. Naturally, they were very useful to her. However, she was destined to have nothing. This 100 Pits mountain range was her burial ground. He just needed to find an opportunity to kill her quietly, and then he would be able to get her storage ring. It didn't matter whether there was anything in it that the 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor insect wanted. Chapter 58:15 The Little Grasshopper. He Xingjiu quietly absorbed all the lightning energy underground. If not for the fact that she was afraid of being exposed, this guy would have absorbed all the lightning stones as well. This guy had nothing to do. He glanced at Director Xiaofu and almost laughed out loud when he saw the palm print on his face that had not completely disappeared. Presumably, this palm print was caused by that grasshopper. Speaking of which, not only did that grasshopper give her spirit stones and lightning strike stones, but it also helped her vent her anger. It was not that annoying. When she saw that Lecturer Yao saw that a student had joined the battle in danger, she cried out with a wicked heart. Director Xiaofu, I didn't notice it before, but now I realize that there are 2 palm prints on your face. Who has the audacity to hit you? TSK, as the saying goes, hitting someone doesn't mean hitting their face. This person is deliberately humiliating you. Tell me who that person is. When my injury is healed, I will take revenge for you. Cut him into 1,000 pieces, chop him up, and feed him to the dogs. Director Xiophas' nose was almost crooked from anger. He hated the instigator again, that damned grasshopper, and also hated Yun Chujio for not knowing what was good for her. With a gloomy face he said, "This matter has nothing to do with you. You should recuperate properly. Don't drag everyone down." Deputy Director Xiaofu, "How could this matter have nothing to do with me? I heard that you went back to look for my corpse, and that's why you were slapped twice. This is all because of me. I never knew that you were so good to me, and even went back to look for my corpse. Speaking of which, you've been so kind to me these days. You've given me this and that again. I'm so flattered," He Xinjiu said with a touched look. When Deputy Director Xiaofu heard her words, he immediately remembered the spirit stones and lightning stones that were given out by the dead grasshopper. He almost spat out a mouthful of blood. He Xinjiu looked at Deputy Director Xiophas' distorted expression and became more certain of her judgment. If he had given it to her himself, why would he react so violently? "Director Xiaofu, why do I feel that you don't look well after coming back from the bloodthirsty insect valley? Why do I feel that you're a little pale? Could it be?" Yun Chujio looked at Director Xiaofu meaningfully. Director Xiaofu suddenly clenched his hands in his sleeves. Could it be that this stupid girl had seen through something? If she really saw through it, he had to kill her on the spot. Could it be that you used up too much of your spiritual power during the last battle? This won't do. You have to recuperate properly, Yun Chujio said with concern. Director Xiophas' hands slowly loosened. It turned out that this wretched girl had not found anything strange. However, it was also true. If he was not the person involved, he would not have thought that the damned grasshopper would possess him. "Oh right, Director Xiaofu, didn't you ask me if I picked up something in the bloodthirsty insect valley last time? I remembered later that I really did pick up something," Yun Chujio said mysteriously. Director Xiophas' face immediately revealed an anxious expression. Unfortunately, before he could ask, the 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor insect could not wait to possess him. "What is it? Quickly take it out and let me see," the 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor insect said anxiously. Yun Chujio's heart moved. That strange feeling came again. Could it be that Director Xiaofu was that little grasshopper that gave away money? "Aiwio, my wound hurts so much. It's a pity that I don't have any good pills. Otherwise, it wouldn't hurt so much. It hurts so much. I can't remember anything." He Xinjiu forced out a face full of cold sweat and said sobbingly. Chapter 58:16. Little Rock seeing the situation. The 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug was so anxious that it was twitching. It transferred all the pills in Director Xiophas' storage ring to He Xinjiu. "I have a lot of high-quality pills here. Pick a few and swallow them." He Xinjiu looked at the bottles of pills in her storage ring and was even more certain that the Director Xiofu in front of her was the little grasshopper, who was a money spinner. She waited in her heart. If she exposed it, what would her chances of winning be? The grasshopper's cultivation was comparable to that of a divinity transformation stage cultivator, and he was wearing Director Xiophas' skin. If they really fought, she might not be able to gain any advantage. She had to take things slowly. Thinking of this, she took out a few pills and stuffed them into her mouth. Then she said gratefully, "Director Xiaofu, you are truly an exemplary teacher. How could you give me so many pills?" The 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug didn't want to listen to this nonsense at all. It couldn't wait to ask, "What did you pick up in the bloodthirsty insect valley?" "I picked up a small stone." The 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug frowned. A small stone? However, it was understandable that this stinky girl didn't know her mistake and treated the corpse stabilizing pearl as a small stone. So she said, "Oh, take it out and let me take a look, in case there's something wrong with the thing you picked up." Yun Chujio nodded her head gratefully and took out a small round stone from her storage ring. Yes, it was the real kind of pebble. The 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug. The 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug barely resisted the urge to strangle Yun Chujio. It gritted its teeth and asked, "Is this what you picked up? Why did you pick up such a useless stone?" Yun Chujio blinked her eyes. "Because it looks good. I used to be very poor. so I liked to pick up stones to pretend that I had many gemstones. Yin Chujio revealed a disappointed expression when she said this. She was telling the truth. In her previous life, she was just a little beggar. She was envious when she saw other little girls wearing beautiful necklaces, but she couldn't even eat her fill. How could there be any jewelry? Therefore, she ran to the riverside and picked up many pebbles, pretending that she also had many gemstones. Perhaps she was afraid of being poor and afraid of being hungry. Therefore, even if she didn't lack money now, it was still difficult for her to change her character as a money grubber and a glutton. The 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug originally thought that Yin Chujio was playing with it. However, when it saw the expression on her face, it didn't seem like she was faking it. Could it be that this stinky girl really didn't pick up the corpse stabilizing pearl? No, back then, she was the only one who had the chance to pick up the corpse stabilizing pearl. She must have been lying to it. This stinky girl was really crafty. She probably couldn't get anything out of her, so she might as well just kill it. Anyway, even if it killed someone, that idiot would think of a way to clean up the aftermath. Yin Chujio saw the flash of killing intent in its eyes, and her heart immediately jumped. This damn grasshopper. She was going to let it prance around for a few days, but it wanted to court its own death. Since this dead grasshopper wanted to kill her regardless of whether she had the corpse stabilizing pearl or not, she might as well try the power of the corpse stabilizing pearl. Therefore, she immediately held the corpse stabilizing pearl in her storage ring. Almost at that moment, the 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor insect screamed and jumped into the distance. It was too panicked and did not even look in the direction. It crashed into the stone wall and fainted with a choking sound. Hei Xinjiu was about to kill it, but Lecturer Yao had already seen the situation and exclaimed, "Vice-Chancellor Xiao." Chapter 58 17 Killing Intent. As Lecturer Yao spoke, he had already leaped over. Hei Xinjiu had no choice but to give up on the idea of killing people and killing insects. At this time, the 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug had already returned the control of its body to Director Xiaofu. Director Xiaofu felt a sharp pain on his forehead and was already dumbfounded. What did that damned grasshopper do now? The 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug's excited voice came from his spiritual sense. The corpse stabilizing pearl is on that stinky girl. Kill her. Quickly kill her. Destroy the corpse stabilizing pearl. Corpse stabilizing pearl? Director Xiaofu had never heard of the corpse stabilizing pearl. However, since the dead grasshopper had not killed Yin Qingqing and had even crashed into the stone wall, it must be very afraid of the corpse stabilizing pearl. If he thought of a way to kill Yin Qingqing and obtain the corpse stabilizing pearl, this damned grasshopper would no longer be a threat to him. Don't be impatient. There are too many people here. When I find the right opportunity, I will naturally kill Yin Qingqing and destroy the corpse stabilizing pearl, Director Xiaofu comforted. Although the 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug wished that Director Xiaofu could kill Yin Chujio immediately, it was afraid of the corpse stabilizing pearl and could only place its hopes on Director Xiaofu. At this moment, Lecturer Yao asked with concern, "Director Xiaofu, are you all right? Why did you bump into the stone wall?" He felt that Director Xiaofu was not right. Previously, two palm prints had appeared on his face out of nowhere, and now he was banging against the stone wall. Had he lost his mind? Director Xiaofu's eyes flashed, and he looked at Yin Chujio unkindly. "Yin Qingqing, I was kind enough to check on your injuries. Why did you push Lecturer?" Yao immediately came to a realization. He had been wondering why Director Xiaofu had crashed into the stone wall for no reason. It turned out that Yin Qingqing had pushed him when he was caught off guard. This Yin Qingqing really did not know what was good for her. She was audacious. Yin Chujio showed a shocked expression and said with a bitter smile, "Director Xiaofu, even if you want to frame me, you have to find a reliable reason. I have suffered such a serious injury, and my cultivation level is much lower than yours. How could I push you so hard? Moreover, I am not a fool. Why would I push you for no reason? I saw that you have not been looking well recently. Moreover, your words and actions are always inexplicable. Could it be that you have been possessed by some unclean thing? 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug. Why? Lecturer, Yao looked suspiciously at Director Xiaofu. What Yan Qingqing said made sense. She was also a fool. There was no need for her to push Director Xiaofu in front of everyone. Moreover, there was indeed something wrong with Director Xiaofu recently. Putting everything else aside, what was with the two palm prints on his face? Director Xiaofu's heart tightened. Could it be that Yan Qingqing already knew that he had been possessed by a dead grasshopper? Director Xiaofu was both afraid and hateful. He had originally wanted to find a suitable opportunity to kill this wretched girl. But now it seemed that he had to end the battle quickly. This wretched girl could not be left alive. Thinking of this, he said stiffly, "Perhaps I am not in good spirits, so I saw wrongly. Forget it, I have nothing to do anyway. Just treat it as if I bumped into myself." Although Lecturer Yao was very suspicious, he had always followed Deputy Director Xiaofu's lead, so he did not continue to ask. Yun Chujia was very smart, so she immediately understood Deputy Director Xiaofu's plan. She sneered in her heart. She was only afraid of that grasshopper. Now that she knew that grasshopper was very afraid of the fixed corpse pearl, she had nothing to be afraid of. Since Vice Director Xiaofu wanted to die, then she would fulfill his wish. Chapter 58:18. I'm really sorry. 2 hours later, the students finished killing the giant thunder mushroom and the thunder-swallowing poison ants, and began to search for the lightning strike stone. Hei Xinjiu stretched her neck and shouted, "Nangong Shi, Jiang Shuangli, come and help me up. I want to do my part too. I want to search for the lightning strike stone." Nangong Shi and Jiang Shuangli were speechless. What kind of person are you? And you are such a money grubber. However, the two of them still came over to help Hei Xinjiu up, and carried her to the site of the lightning strike stone. Come, I will be in charge of commanding, and the two of you will be in charge of digging. We will split the lightning strike stone equally among the three of us. You won't disagree with such a fair method, right? Hei Xinjiu said shamelessly. Nangong Shi. Jiang Shuangli. Fair. Hehe. Even so, the two of them still followed Hei Xinjiu's instructions, and started digging the lightning stones. Perhaps they were too lucky, but they were able to dig out a nest of lightning stones every time. Their efficiency was much higher than the others. Haha, do you see that? It's all because of my good command that you were able to find so many lightning stones, Hei Xinjiu said smugly. The reason why she was able to command was very simple. Xiao Mogu had already told her where the lightning stones were more concentrated, so she was naturally more efficient than the others. Soon, the students gathered all the lightning stones and returned the way they came. After walking for 2 hours, the sky gradually turned dark. After discussing with Lecturer Yao, Deputy Director Xiaofu decided to camp at the same place and continue on their journey the next morning. The students were also extremely tired and naturally couldn't wait. They immediately began to busy themselves with setting up camp. Director Xiaofu looked at Hei Xinjiu, who was chatting with Nangong Shi and Jiang Shuangli. His heart was filled with killing intent. This damned brat. She actually deceived all of his medicinal pills. That dead grasshopper was simply a pig's brain. However, it didn't matter. Tomorrow would be the day of her death. The night passed without a word. The next morning, everyone continued on their journey. At noon, they arrived at the bottom of the rope. Line up and go up in order. Yan Qingqing, you're injured. Stay at the back. I'll protect you when you climb up, so that you won't be in danger, Deputy Director Xiaofu said solemnly. Okay, I got it. Thank you, Deputy Director Xiaofu. Hei Xinjiu sneered in her heart. Was it time to make a move? Good, very good. Nangong Shi glanced at Yin Chujio worriedly. Even Jiang Shuangli cast a questioning gaze at her. However, seeing that Yin Chujio did not seem to care at all, the two of them did not ask any further questions. Everyone climbed up the rope one by one. In the end, only Vice Director Xiaofu and Hei Xinjiu were left. Vice Director Xiaofu pointed at the rope. Yan Qingqing, what are you still standing there for? Hurry up and climb up. Hei Xinjiu followed his advice and climbed up the rope. Director Xiaofu's eyes flashed with viciousness as he followed closely behind her. He made up his mind. Halfway up the rope, he only needed to give a slight tug, and Yin Qingqing would fall to her death. When that time came, he would get the fixed corpse pearl, and he would be able to take care of that dead grasshopper. Soon, the two of them were about half a distance away from the rope. Director Zaifa's pupils constricted as he reached out his hand to pull Yun Chujio's right foot. However, he did not expect Yun Chujio to kick down so hard that it almost broke Director Xiaofu's hand. Director Xiaofu, did I kick you? I'm really sorry. But, why are you so close to me? He Xingjiu turned her head and said with a smile. Director Xiaofu was so angry that he gritted his teeth. He did not bother to cover up and directly slapped Yun Chujio. Chapter 58:19 Falls. Director Zaifa's face was ferocious. Yun Chujio was right above him, and there was no way to avoid her. Even if she could not be killed by this strike, it would also make her unable to hold on to the rope, and she would definitely fall to her death. Director Zaifa's palm, which was full of spiritual power, hit Yun Chujio's body firmly. Yun Chujio immediately cried out in pain. Director Xiaofu, you actually want to kill me? Save me! Save me! Someone save me! The people above were all stunned by this unexpected turn of events. Although they knew that Director Xiaofu and Yun Chujio had a feud, they never thought that Director Xiaofu would actually make a move. Lecturer Yao and the other two lecturers looked at each other. Although they were both direct descendants of Director Xiaofu, they could not remain indifferent under the watchful eyes of the crowd. Thus they pretended to shout to the people below. Director Xiaofu, you must not be rash. No matter what huge mistake Yin Qingqing has made, we will talk about it after we get up. Once they said this, the matter was settled. Director Xiaofu was punishing the students who had made mistakes. Nangong Shi and Jiang Shuangli were so anxious that they were hopping around, but they could not do anything. The two of them could not help but feel a little regretful. If they had known earlier, even if Yin Qingqing was not willing, she should have let her climb up before them. But now, she and Director Xiaofu were suspended in the middle of the cliff. They could not help even if they wanted to. Director Xiaofu had long expected this situation, so he was fearless and attacked openly. To be honest, he had thought that the previous palm strike would be able to kill Yun Chujio, or make her fall. Who would have thought that although Yun Chujio screamed mournfully, she was still climbing up? Director Xiaofu snorted coldly and slapped Yun Chujio again. He thought that this palm strike would definitely kill Yun Chujio. Yun Chujio took another palm strike, and her scream became even more mournful. Help! I'm going to kill someone. There's no law anymore. Director Xiaofu saw that she was still alive, and was so angry that he slapped her a few times. In the end, He Xingjiu was still shouting loudly. It was simply a ghost. Director Xiaofu directly took out a treasured sword, and chopped at Yin Chujio's legs. Nangong Shi and Jiang Shuangli were so angry that they were trembling. Director Xiaofu was deliberately trying to kill Yin Qingqing. Yin Chujio had been paying attention to Director Zaifa's movements. Seeing him like this, she immediately let Xiao Hanyo curse, and shook the rope violently. Director Xiaofu was still some distance away from. In addition, he was completely focused on Yun Chujio. After being cursed by the little black bird, he instantly lost his balance. He immediately screamed and fell down. Director Zaifa's cultivation was not low after all. Although it happened suddenly, he quickly reacted and used his sword to stab the stone wall beside him to slow down his fall. No one expected things to turn out like this. Nangong Shi and Jiang Shuangli were very happy. No matter what, Yin Qingqing could be considered to have saved her life. As long as she climbed up, no matter what, they would protect her life. However, they did not expect that Xiao Lianqiao had already quietly walked behind the big tree that was tied with ropes and untied the ropes. When they discovered it, it was already too late. Yun Chujio's entire body fell into the bottom of the pit. Xiao Lianqiao's action was truly out of everyone's expectations. Even Lecturer Yao and the other two were momentarily speechless. This was a blatant murder. Chapter 58:20 was reduced to a pitiful wretch. If Vice Director Xiao wanted to kill Yun Chujio, he could still use a teacher to punish a student to explain it. But Xiao Lianqiao's actions could not be justified no matter what. Everyone felt that Yun Chujio was dead for sure. After all, her cultivation could not be compared to Vice Director Xiao's. Moreover, she had been slapped so many times by Vice Director Xiao and was already seriously injured. How could she still have the strength to save her little life? At this moment, someone cried out in surprise. Everyone quickly looked over and saw that Yin Qingqing had thrown something out and actually hung herself on a small tree on the cliff wall. Under everyone's stunned gazes, Yin Chujio was like a nimble little squirrel as she calmly climbed to the bottom of the pit. Nangong Shi and Jiang Shuangli anxiously stomped their feet. This Yin Qingqing was really smart and muddle-headed. Why don't you climb up instead? Although Vice Director Xiaofu was slightly injured, his life was not in danger. He was currently waiting below with a menacing gaze. Wouldn't climbing down like this be courting death? Lecturer Yao, quickly put down another rope. I want to go down, Jiang Shuangli said. Yin Qingqing had saved his life. It was time for him to repay her. Lecturer Yao's eyes flickered as he said, there's only one rope. The other one is with Vice Director Xiaofu. Don't worry. I will persuade Vice Director Xiaofu not to hurt Yin Qingqing. Jiang Shuangli was not a fool. He naturally knew that Lecturer Yao was lying. How could there only be one rope? However, he had no choice. Even if he were to use force, he would not be able to defeat the three lecturers. At this moment, everyone cried out in surprise. He hurriedly looked down and saw Yin Qingqing running into the dense forest not far away. Director Xiaofu was chasing closely behind. Jiang Shuangli and Nangong Shi both looked annoyed. They had always been successful, but this was the first time they felt helpless. He Xinjiu only stopped after she ran into the dense forest. She sneered and looked at Director Xiaofu, who was chasing after her. Director Xiaofu, are you trying to shed all pretense of cordiality? Director Xiaofu saw that although Yin Chujio was covered in blood, she was still alive and kicking. His heart was filled with hatred and shock. This stinky girl must have some protective treasure on her. Otherwise, she would not be safe. It just so happened that as long as he killed her, those things would belong to him. Yin Qingqing, you can't run away. No one will come to save you. If you know what's good for you, just let me kill you. Otherwise, you'll suffer more. The corner of Yin Chujio's mouth curled up. Little grasshopper, I don't W. Come out, I want to talk to you. Before Vice Director Xiaofu could object, the 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug hurriedly took the initiative of the body. Stinky girl, you know that I have possessed him? Not only do I know that you have possessed him, I also know that you want to find the corpse stabilizing pearl. Am I right? Yin Chujio said with a faint smile. The 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug's eyes lit up. Yes, what I want to find is the corpse stabilizing pearl. As long as you destroy the corpse stabilizing pearl, I will help you kill this idiot. How about it? Yin Chujio sighed. Little grasshopper, I don't want to criticize you, but the brain of your insect race is not easy to use. You're helping me? You're already at the edge of the cliff, don't you know? It's me who should be helping you. The 1,000-year corpse turtle emperor bug was stunned. What do you? Yin Chujio sneered. Do you think that if Vice Director Xiaofu kills me, he will destroy the corpse stabilizing pearl? He will definitely use the corpse stabilizing pearl to threaten you. Killing you would be a light punishment, and he will even use it to threaten you. He will make you work hard for him and torture you until you wish you were dead. At that time, you will not be able to answer every day, and you will not be able to cry properly. You will completely lose your dignity as a worm. You will become a pitiful worm. Chapter 58:21 Dignity of a Bug. The 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug said angrily. He dares. TSK, of course he dares. As long as he has the fixed corpse pearl in his hand, what can you do to him? These days, he has been bullied by you many times. Naturally, he will pay you 1,000 times over. The 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug was dumbfounded. After thinking about it, it felt that what Yin Chujio said was very reasonable. It had thought things were simple before. The fool it possessed was vicious and merciless. Perhaps it really did intend to do so. It rolled its eyes. Little girl, thank you for your reminder. How about this? As long as you destroy the fixed corpse pearl, not only will I help you kill this fool, I will also agree to 3 conditions. Moreover, I will definitely not harm your life. How about it? Yin Chuju giggled. Little grasshopper, do you think you have the right to negotiate with me? You have also seen that this idiot's attacks have no effect on me. I am not afraid of him at all. I can completely kill him, and then use the fixed corpse pearl to kill you. However, since you have given me quite a number of spirit stones and lightning striking stones, I will give you a way out. If you do as I say, then it's fine. But if you don't want face, then I'll kill you and exterminate all of you. The 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor insect never dreamed that it would be blackmailed one day. And it was blackmailed by a weak little girl. But she had the corpse stabilizing pearl in her hand, so it couldn't hurt her at all. The 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor felt that its insect life had never been so dark. Even though it had been forced to give up its body, it had never been so desperate before. Hey, Shinjo said impatiently. If you want to die, live a little faster. I'll give you 3 seconds. 1, 2. The 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor gritted its teeth. Better to live than die. It was more important to save its life first. It would think of a way to deal with this smelly girl in the future. It thought that it, the grand 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug, would not be able to defeat a little brat like her. Therefore, it gritted its teeth and said, I want to live. What do you want me to do? Hey, Shinjo nodded in satisfaction. You are quite sensible, little grasshopper. You killed Vice Director Ziafa's primordial spirit, and then you temporarily pretended to be Vice Director Xiaofu to help me with my work. The 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug was immediately overjoyed. It thought that the brat was going to make things difficult for it. So, that was all it was asked to do. It was too easy. While it was secretly happy, Hey Shinjo continued. However, I'm afraid that you. So before that, you have to sign a master pet contract with me. The 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug was immediately taken aback. What was that? Sign a master pet contract? It was the grand 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug, the king of all bugs, to acknowledge a weak little girl as its master? No, absolutely not. This was the dignity of the insect. I've never liked to force others to do things. Since you don't want it, it's fine. I'll take out the corpse stabilizing pearl and play with it. Hey Shinjo was about to take out the corpse stabilizing pearl when the 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor insect blurted out. I'll do it. I'll do it, alright? Life was more important. The dignity of the insect could be put aside for now. HMPH, even if the contract was formed, it would find a way to bite back. Yin Chujo was very satisfied with the 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug's tactful attitude. Little grasshopper, to be honest, I didn't intend to take you in. Not only are you ugly, you're also transformed from corpse chi. How disgusting. I feel embarrassed even if I take you out. However, seeing that you're still rather obedient, I reluctantly accepted you out of kindness. Come, let's form a contract. Chapter 5822. Deceiving even insects, update. The 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor insect was so angry that it almost fainted. What did she mean by being a good-for-nothing? She was a good-for-nothing. She even despised it for making a fool of herself. She even despised her for being weak and embarrassing the insect. However, it did not matter. Even if it recognized her as its master, it could still bite back. When the time came, it would let her know what it meant to regret what she had done in the past, and what it meant for a dog to look down on an insect. However, the 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug and Hei Shinjo only realized a problem after a while. Now that the 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug had lost its body, how could it contract with Yin Chujo? Hei Shinjo blinked her eyes. If it was in the past, she really couldn't do anything about it. But now, she knew about the demonic god contract. In this way, she wasn't afraid of the little grasshopper biting her back. It was simply awesome. Little grasshopper, I know of a special master pet contract. Release a wisp of corpse chi, and PLL control it. Hei Shinjo said slowly and seductively, like a little fox with 9 tails. The 1,000-year corpse turtle emperor insect believed her, and immediately released a wisp of corpse chi. Yin Chujo quickly established a demonic contract with it. After the 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor insect sensed the contract in its spiritual sense, it was dumbfounded. What kind of contract was this? Why didn't it know? The poor 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor insect was still thinking about the backlash, but it didn't know that it had completely fallen into the pit, a 10,000-year-old deep pit. Hey Shinjo kindly explained for it. Little grasshopper, this is called a demonic contract. Only the demon race can become the master's side. Isn't it interesting? 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug. What kind of monster had it encountered? It even lied to a bug. However, wait, only the demon race could become the master's side. Did that mean that this stinky girl was a demon? You are a demon? The 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug felt that its brain was not enough. Wasn't this stinky girl too bold? Since she was from the demon race, she actually dared to wander among the humans. Was she tired of living? Hey Shinjo said with a smile. 80%. Maybe. The 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug was so angry that it was twitching. Yes, no, it was not. It was really too infuriating. In fact, it did not know that Yin Chujio really did not lie to it. This fellow did not even know what it was. Little grasshopper, we have plenty of time to cultivate our feelings. First, kill the primordial spirit of this idiot, Director Xiaofu. Then we will go up. It will be troublesome if someone comes later. What could the 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug say? It could only do as it was told. Moreover, when it thought that Director Xiaofu, this idiot, actually intended to enslave it, the 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug was simply furious. Originally, the 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug could have killed Director Xiaofu silently, but it was ready to vent its anger, so it returned the control of its body to Director Xiaofu. Director Xiaofu didn't know what the 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug and Yin Chujio had just said. Seeing that Yin Chujio was still standing in front of him, he immediately wanted to make a move. Yin Chujio just looked at him with a smile and had no intention of dodging. At this moment, Director Xiaofu's spiritual sense transmitted the 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor insect's angry voice. You idiot! Do you think that you can enslave me just because you have the fixed corpse pearl? I will kill you right now. Director Xiaofu was confused. He was both afraid and guilty, so he quickly explained, Sir, don't listen to Yin Qingcheng's nonsense. I have always been loyal to you. How would I dare to have such thoughts? As soon as I get the Pearl of the Dead, I will destroy it. I will never have any other thoughts. Chapter 58:23 The wicked will be tortured by the wicked. The 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor insect sneered. Is that so? Since you are so loyal to me, then give me your primordial spirit. Let me supplement it. Before Deputy Director Xiaofu could react, he felt a sharp pain in his spiritual sense. He immediately used his primordial spirit to resist, but how could he be a match for the 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor insect? He could only watch helplessly as his primordial spirit was constantly being devoured by the 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug. His face turned paler, and his body was covered in cold sweat. Yin Chujio watched coldly from the side. She and Vice Director Xiaofu originally had no enmity, but he had repeatedly wanted her life. Now that she had become a vessel for the little grasshopper, she deserved it. Vice Director Xiaofu suddenly raised his head and looked at Yin Chujio with a vicious gaze. It's you, isn't it? It must be because you said something to the 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug that it suddenly turned hostile. Yin Qingcheng, you slut. You will die a horrible death. The corners of Yin Chujio's mouth curled up, and she snapped her fingers. Congratulations, you got it right. Director Xiaofu was like a mad demon. He did not know where the power came from, but he actually forcefully released his spirit power wolf. The spirit power wolf pounced at Yin Chujio ferociously. Yin Chujio allowed it to pounce on her body. The spirit power wolf's 4 solid claws instantly tore her skin and flesh apart. However, Yin Chujio still had a faint smile on her face. Director Xiaofu, you probably don't know this, right? These attacks of yours cannot do anything to me except cause some flesh wounds. Also, the reason why those thunder cone trees ran away was also because of me. Tell me, what right does a fool like you have to fight with me? Yun Chujio felt that this set of words from a despicable person who had achieved success was extremely satisfying. It was simply wonderful. Director Xiaofu had obviously suffered a huge blow. His eyes quickly dimmed because he had lost his fighting spirit. At this moment he regretted it. If he had known that he was facing such a pervert, he should not have provoked her. But what was the use of regret? After the 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug had devoured Vice Director Ziafa's primordial spirit, it looked at Hei Shinjio, who was covered in blood, but had a calm expression. It was a little afraid. This stinky girl was ruthless to others, but even more ruthless to itself. In order to completely defeat that idiot, she actually allowed the huge spiritual wolf to scratch her all over. This was too ruthless. In fact, it did not know that Hei Shinjio was most afraid of pain. Even if her finger was pricked by a needle, she would scream for a long time. However, the road ahead was dangerous, so she could only make herself stronger. No matter how much pain she felt, she could only endure it. When the pain reached a certain extent, she would become numb. After all, being able to feel pain was also a kind of happiness. At least it meant that she was still alive. Cough cough, these were chicken soup for others to listen to. In fact, Hei Shinjio was cursing in her heart at this moment. Fuck. She didn't deliberately not dodge. She wasn't a fool. Damn it. She was forced to do it. Just now, she was about to dodge the attack of the spiritual giant wolf, but she felt her body stiffen for a moment. She actually didn't listen to her commands anymore. She couldn't move at all. What was going on? Why was this happening? Shiamo inside Yin Chujia's spiritual beast bag laughed loudly. Stinky girl, you really deserve it. I didn't expect that the wicked will be tortured by the wicked. You have finally met your retribution. When Hei Shinjio signed the contract with the 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug, she had deliberately opened her spiritual perception with Sha Emo to annoy him. That was how Sha Emo knew what had happened. Yin Chujio was stunned. What do you mean? What's going on? Chapter 58 24 Corpse Transformation. Sha Emo laughed like a maniac. He finally had an outlet to vent his frustration. Naturally, he couldn't stop laughing. Dog 2 glared at him. You old fool, the fairy is asking you a question. If you laugh again, it'll beat you to death. Only then did Sha Emo stop laughing. However, there was still a hint of a sneer in his tone. Stinky girl. A snake swallowing an elephant when its heart isn't enough is exactly like you. You even dared to contract the 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug. I think you've had enough of living. Yin Chujio narrowed her eyes. What do you mean? The 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug is formed from the corpse chi. If you contract it, you will naturally be infected by the corpse chi. Over time, you will turn into a zombie. You stinky girl. When the time comes, you will become neither a human nor a ghost, neither a devil nor a demon, and you will become a monster. Ha ha ha. Hei Shinjio was dumbfounded. Damn it, I won't turn into a zombie, will I? Sha Emo laughed crazily and continued. That's not the worst part. The best part is that your consciousness will be erased after a long time, and you will become a monster that only wants to devour corpse chi and human blood. The cycle of justice is not satisfied with retribution. Damn girl, you have done so many wicked things, and you have finally received retribution. Ha ha ha. The more Sha Emo talked, the more excited he became. If he had not been trapped in the spiritual beast pouch, he would have rolled on the ground in joy. Hei Shinjio, Buttface, and the other dumb cuties were all dumbfounded. Hun Dun said in a muffled voice, It's over. It's over. If the little girl turns into a monster, won't she eat us first? Little girl, please be kind and let us go now. I don't want to be sucked dry and turned into a mummy by voucher. Buttface gave Hun Dun a claw. You dumbass. Now you have a different heart. Do you have a conscience? If it weren't for the little fairy, would you have such a beautiful green sweater? If it weren't for the little fairy, you would still be lying in the dirty and smelly swamp. Hun Dun felt a little guilty from Buttface's words, but he still defended himself. I didn't want it to be like this. It's mainly because the little girl will turn into a mindless monster. It's useless even if we pledge our loyalty to her. Hei Shinjio was having a headache because of the two of them. She said angrily, "Shut up. Shaimo, are you telling the truth? Are you not lying to me?" Shaimo snorted coldly. "You know your body best. Naturally, you know whether I'm lying or not." Yin Shujo frowned. Her body had indeed stiffened for a moment just now. Could it be that Shaimo was telling the truth? If it were an ordinary person who had heard such terrible news, they would have been devastated immediately. However, Hei Shinjio had been through so many strange things. Although she was worried, nothing much had happened yet. "Shaimo, since you know so much about this matter, is there any way to solve it? If I cancel the contract with the little grasshopper now, will it not be affected?" Shaimo sneered. "You think it's simple. The 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug is formed from corpse chi. How can you break the contract just because you want to? This is the retribution for your greed. You actually dared to contract with me and the 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug. You deserve retribution." Hearing his words, Yin Shujo was certain that Shaimo had no other way. Otherwise, he would have taken the opportunity to blackmail her long ago. Therefore, she didn't bother to talk nonsense with Shaimo, and restored the spiritual sense connection with the 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug. The 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug still didn't know what had happened. It only saw Yin Shuji's expression change. In short, it didn't seem like a good thing. Chapter 58. 25. Yin Chuji's gaze made the 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug's hair stand on end. It muttered, "Why are you looking at me like that?" Yin Chujo narrowed her eyes. "Are you hiding something from me?" The 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug's face was filled with innocence and anger. "You've gone too far. This is called backstabbing. You previously lied to me and signed a demonic god contract with you. My entire bug is yours. What else can I hide from you?" Seeing the 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug like this, Yin Shujo did not look like it was lying. Besides, this bug was stupid and did not have that much scheming. "Let me ask you. Shaimo said that after I made a contract with you, I would be infected by the corpse chi and eventually become a monster that only knows how to swallow corpse chi and blood. Is that true?" The 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug looked confused at first, and then slapped its thigh in realization. A look of reverence appeared on its face. "Oh my god! No wonder I became your bug. So you are the legendary demon." Hei Shinjio was at a loss. What the hell is a demon? A demon is the king of all ghosts. It is the world's most powerful zombie. I knew it. How could I, the grand 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug, be so disgraced to be contracted by someone? "So you are a demon." The 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug's face was full of flattery and worship. Hei Zinjia's heart felt like a dog's. She was the ghost ancestor, but she wasn't a damn demon. If she really became a zombie, what was the difference between that and death? If she had known earlier, she wouldn't have contracted this damned little grasshopper. Previously in the bloodthirsty insect valley, she felt that this thing was too unlucky, so she didn't hit its main target. Who would have thought that she would still fall into the pit now? Damn it, this pit was dug by herself. Why was she so unlucky? Didn't she just take in a little grasshopper? How did she become the leader of the zombies? She glared fiercely at the 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug. "I don't want to become a demon, and I don't want to be infected by your corpse aura. Do you have any ideas? If not, I will kill you directly." The 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug shivered under Yin Chuji's fierce gaze. No. Didn't you ask me to help you? It would be such a pity to kill me." "Cut the crap. Do you have any ideas?" The 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug was about to cry. It was really not to blame for this. After all, in its inheritance, it had never heard of a 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug being contracted by a human. Yes, by a demon. Who would have thought that there would be such a side effect of turning into a corpse? The 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor insect thought about it and racked its brains. but it still couldn't think of a solution. Yun Chujio simply didn't count on it anymore, and started to operate according to the method of breaking the demon god's contract. However, she realized that just as Shaimo had said, the contract really couldn't be broken. Yun Chujio looked at the 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor insect that was trying its best to reduce its presence and said, "Even if I can't break the contract, I can at least kill you." The 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor insect fell to its knees with a plop. "Lord Demon, you can't do this. PM your insect. A day of master and servant is 100 days of grace. You can't be so ruthless. Moreover, if you kill me and still can't stop the corpse transformation, won't the gains outweigh the losses? If you keep me alive, at least I'll have a helper. At least I'm still the king of the insect clan." At this moment, Shaimo laughed loudly and said, "It's useless even if you kill it. Your spiritual sense has already been bound to the demon god's contract, and it will automatically absorb corpse chi. Moreover, it's becoming more and more fond of fresh blood. Sooner or later, you'll turn into a corpse. Ha ha ha. It's really retribution." Chapter 58:26 1ll Go and harm the demon race. Yun Chujio narrowed her eyes and said, "Shaimo, do you think PLL spontaneously absorb corpse chi and become more and more fond of fresh blood?" Shaimo gloated and said, "That's right. At that time, you won't be able to control yourself at all, and you'll eventually become a monster spurned by others." "Do the corpse chi and blood you mentioned belong to humans?" "Can other races? Of course they can. Whether it's the human race, the ghost race, or the demon race, as well as demonic beasts, spiritual beasts, or demonic beasts, they will all become food in your eyes. Then go and harm the demon race continent. Anyway, the demon race is immortal. Even if tens of thousands of people die, it doesn't matter. I won't feel guilty," Yun Chujio said lightly. "Shaimo, why didn't this brat play by the rules? Normally, when a person heard such bad news, shouldn't he break down and cry? Why did this brat's first thought was to harm others? Too shameless. Too shameless. If he put such a monster on the demon continent, wouldn't he become a sinner of the demon race? He was too gloating. When she asked him just now, he should have said that she couldn't absorb the demon race. It was too late to regret. He wanted to change his words, but he knew that Hei Shinjio was full of schemes. Even if he changed his words, Yun Chujio wouldn't believe him. Shaimo thought for a while. This stupid girl was probably just saying. She couldn't find the entrance to the demon continent. How could she go to the demon continent? Besides, someone might discover that she was about to turn into a corpse and be killed. He didn't need to worry at all. Thinking of this, Shaimo snorted coldly and said, "It's up to you. Anyway, as long as I think of you turning into a monster, I feel happy." Yun Chujio narrowed her eyes. "Happy? Buttface beat him up. Let him feel happy again." Buttface immediately called a group of dumb cuties to beat Shaimo up. Hearing Shaimo's miserable cry, the 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor insect trembled like a sieve. This stinky girl actually contracted a demon? She even put the demon into a spirit beast bag? And she even beat him up casually? Oh God, what kind of pervert had he fallen into? At this moment a shout came from afar. "Director Xiaofu, Yan Qingqing, where are you?" Yun Chujio's eyes flashed as she said to the trembling 1,000-year corpse turtle emperor bug, "From now on, you are Director Xiaofu. Be smart or I will kill you." The 1,000-year corpse turtle emperor bug's regret was like a torrential river. If it knew that this little girl was so perverted, it should not have provoked her in the bloodthirsty insect valley. If it had not provoked her, it would definitely be enjoying the worst. How could it suffer such cowardice? However, what was the use of saying all this now? It was better to be obedient, or else it would really die. The 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug said obsequiously, "Lord Demon, what should I do? If I hear the word demon from your mouth again, I'll cut off your tongue. In a while you'll say this, do you hear me?" The 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor was so frightened that it trembled and hurriedly agreed, almost kneeling on the ground and kowtowing. At this moment a few people rushed over. The leader was Lecturer Yao, followed by Nangong Shi, Jiang Shuangli, and the others. Nangong Shi and Jiang Shuangli heaved a sigh of relief when they saw that Yin Chujio was safe and sound. They were extremely anxious up there, but lecturer Yao refused to take out the rope. In the end, the two of them threatened to commit suicide. Only then did lecturer Yao take out another rope. Chapter 58-27 Apology Lecturer. Yao originally thought that Vice-Chancellor Xiao had already killed Yin Qingqing. But now that he saw that although Yin Qingqing was covered in blood, her life should not be in any danger. The 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor insect said according to the explanation that Yin Chujio had just taught him. I seem to have been accidentally poisoned just now, so I had an illusion and almost made a big mistake. Fortunately, I regained my consciousness at the critical moment. Otherwise, the consequences would have been unimaginable. I have just obtained Yin Qingqing's understanding. When I return to the academy, I will sincerely apologize to the dean. Lecturer Yao, Nangong Shi, and the others were dumbfounded. However, it was indeed unusual for Vice-Chancellor Xiao to publicly chop off Yin Qingqing's leg. No matter how much he disliked Yin Qingqing, he shouldn't have killed her in public. It turned out that he was poisoned and lost his mind. This made sense. He Xinjiu also cooperated and said, Vice Director Xiaofu has already apologized to me just now. The trial is more important. Let's go up first. Lecturer Yao said a few conciliatory words, and the few of them immediately turned back. After they climbed up, Nangong Shi said in a cold voice, Vice Director Xiaotu, you lost your mind because you were poisoned, but Xiao Lianxiao is very clear-headed. She had just let go of the rope, causing Yin Qingqing to fall. If not for her cleverness, she would have been dead by now. You should at least give an explanation, right? He Xinjiu had forgotten about this. When she heard Nangong Shi's words, she immediately said angrily, no wonder I fell. It was Xiao Lianqiu's doing. Director Xiaofu, what do you say? The 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor thought. How would it know what to say? Fortunately, Yin Chujio used her spiritual sense to teach him the excuse. He immediately walked up to the indignant Xiao Lianxiao and gave her 2 tight slaps. Xiao Lianqiu's originally delicate face immediately turned into a pig's head. I really indulged you too much. Now you actually treat the life of your classmate as a child's game. Tell me, did you do it on purpose? Did you want to see how tight the rope was? A moment of carelessness led to a big mistake? Xiao Lianxiao was not stupid. She immediately followed the conversation and said, Second uncle, I really didn't do it on purpose. I just wanted to see whether the rope was tight or not. I saw that the rope was a little loose and wanted to fix it, but I didn't expect it to be in the wrong direction, so I loosened the rope. The 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor insect snorted. No matter what, yo. Xiao Lianqiu's heart was filled with hatred, but she also knew that Director Xiaofu was trying to help her get out of it. She reluctantly said to Yin Chujio, I'm sorry, it's my fault. Yin Chujio pouted. Is it over just because I'm sorry? If it's useful to be sorry, I'll kill you and then say sorry to your corpse. You. Xiao Lianxiao was about to refute, but when she saw Director Xiaofu's cold gaze, she had no choice but to shut her mouth and not speak. How about this, for the sake of Director Xiaofu? You give me 10 million high-grade spirit stones, and I'll reluctantly forgive you. Otherwise, I'll complain to President Gu and make you withdraw from school. Yin Chujio said with her lips curled. Xiao Lianxiao was naturally unwilling, but seeing that Director Xiaofu had no intention of helping her, she could only reluctantly give the spirit stones to Yin Chujio. She had already been extorted by Yin Chujio once, and now she was completely broke. Director Xiaofu then said, Hurry up and continue to set off. Chapter 58-28 Is this a silly dog? Buttface, who was in Yin Chujio's spirit beast bag, said in confusion, Little fairy, that little grasshopper is now your bug. Why do you still want to keep that little bitch, Xiao Lianxiao? Can't you just kill her? Because we have to maintain the character of Vice Director Xiaofu. If he rashly wants to kill Xiao Lianxiao, it will definitely attract the suspicion of others. In addition, Xiao Lianxiao's grandfather is the vice president of the Myriad City Alliance. If the little grasshopper kills her, it will definitely attract unnecessary trouble, and its identity might be exposed. So PLL let her play around for a few days. Anyway, I have a way to deal with her, Yin Chujiu explained. Buttface thought of Xiao Lianqiao's swollen pig-like face, and absolutely believed that Yin Chujiu would make her life worse than death. This guy immediately flattered. Little fairy, you really have foresight. I really admire you. Sha Mo, who was beaten to a living hell, snorted. The majestic fierce beast has become a lapdog. It's simply a disgrace. It's useless to flatter her. When she turns into a corpse, the first thing she will suck is your blood. Buttface immediately glared at him and said, What do you know? It's my honor to be able to sacrifice myself for the little fairy. If the little fairy wants to suck my blood now, I'm willing. What does my dog life count for? As long as the little fairy is happy, Buttface, will go through fire and water. Shaimo. Is this a silly dog? Buttface blinked his dog eyes. TSK. You old fool, what do you know? The little fairy had gone through countless storms and waves. Even Tian Dao could not kill her. What was a mere corpse chi? He wasn't that idiot Hun Dun, leaving at this time. He was giving himself a hard time. How could the little fairy not be touched by his loyalty when the little fairy was in danger? No matter how many spirit pets the little fairy had in the future, the position of the number one spirit pet would always belong to him, Buttface. Sure enough, when Hei Xinjiu heard Buttface's words, although she knew it was a little exaggerated, she still rewarded him with a roasted chicken, which made Buttface so beautiful. This fellow was very self-satisfied. Whether it was a human or a spiritual pet, they all had to have brains. Although Buttface was now a little trash, with his clever brain and obedience, he still managed to get to the throne of the number one spiritual pet. Those idiots could not be compared to him. Shaimo looked at the smug Buttface with disdain. Indeed, what kind of person raised what kind of spiritual beast? This stupid dog was just as annoying as that smelly girl. However, if that smelly girl really turned into a corpse, he wouldn't be able to live, let alone find that girl. He had to. Otherwise, he could make up a way to get rid of the corpse aura and use it to blackmail that smelly girl. Shaimo felt that this method was feasible and began to think hard. In the next 2 days, everyone searched for another sinkhole, and it was quite smooth. The 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor insect found an opportunity to call Yin Chujiu to a place where no one was around and said with a sob, Ba Overlord, I found a serious problem. Yin Chujiu was too lazy to correct its name and asked, What problem? When that fool was alive, he would cultivate every day, so his body naturally had a lot of spiritual power. I only needed to absorb the spiritual power he cultivated. However, now that that idiot is dead, I don't know how you humans cultivate. My spiritual energy is about to be exhausted. What should I do? Chapter 58-29. The little grasshopper with a strong desire for survival. Yin Chujiu frowned. Do you need to ask me that? Just cultivate according to your cultivation method. The 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor insect immediately said excitedly, Well, I cultivate corpse chi. Who do you think I should kill? Yin Chujiu. It would be better if you killed yourself. The 1,000-year-old corpse turtle did not know what Hei Xinjiu was thinking. It said eagerly, How about I kill that Xiao Lianxiao? Anyway, she has always offended you. It's good to kill her. Yin Chujiu took a deep breath. You'd better give up this idea as soon as possible. You don't have to use human corpses to cultivate corpse chi. Isn't it the same if you use the corpses of demonic beasts? It'll transfer some demon beast corpses to you. You can make do with them first. Although the 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor insect preferred to use human corpses to cultivate, it had no choice but to lower its head under the roof. It could only accept the demon beast corpses that Yin Chujiu transferred to it. Overlord. You can call me little fairy, or you can call me master. Yin Chujio rolled her eyes. Overlord, don't call me concubine. The 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor insect immediately changed his words. Master, how much longer do I have to bear this body? You also know that this body is poisoned by the corpse poison. Sooner or later it will rot. When that time comes, it will be exposed. Yin Chujio said indifferently. When that time comes, just find a reason to disappear. As for you, just find another person to possess it. The 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor said weakly. Well, master, there's something that you might have misunderstood. Yin Chujio suddenly had an ominous premonition in her heart. What is it? My original body was destroyed by you guys, and my cultivation was inevitably weakened by a bit. Therefore, I'm afraid I can't possess another person's body. Moreover, the 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor stuttered for a long time, but didn't dare to say anything else. In the end, it gritted its teeth and said, Moreover, once I leave this skin bag, I will turn into a worm egg. However, don't worry, I will hatch very soon. I will become the overlord of the worms very soon. Yin Chujio. It would be a ghost if she believed it. The reason was very simple. Which of the idiots in her spiritual beast pouch had not told her that in the beginning? But in the end, each one was more useless than the last. The 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug carefully looked at Yin Chujio's expression. It was also very helpless. Its original plan was to destroy the corpse stabilizing pearl first, and then leave it in Director Xiophas' body to absorb spiritual power and turn it into an egg. When it hatched, it would be the day Director Xiaofu died. Who would have thought that the plan was all messed up now? It was also very bitter, okay? Yin Chujio felt that the worst thing she had done in her life was to contract this little grasshopper. Not only was it useless, but it also implicated her in getting infected by the corpse chi. Damn it, it had to turn into an insect egg in the end. She was so angry that she was going to die. The 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug was afraid that Yin Chujio would kill it in a fit of anger, so it showed an extremely strong desire to survive. Master, I am useful. I am useful. Think about it. I don't need your spiritual stones to cultivate, and I don't need your lightning strike stones. You just need to give me a few corpses. If you go to a place without spiritual aura, I will be your #1 killer weapon. Master, apart from that, I will also tell ghost stories. I guarantee that you will feel a cold breeze behind your back when you hear it, and you won't dare to sleep at night. Yin Chujio. Now she wanted to kill this fellow even more. What the hell? Chapter 58 30 Conditions of Gowei. Yin Chujio glared at the 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug and asked, By the way, who was the person who hatched the bodies of you grasshoppers? Why did the corpse-fixing pearl end up in the pool? Seeing that Yin Chujio had changed the topic, the 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug heaved a sigh of relief. It seemed that its little life was saved. It quickly said eagerly, It's not an extraordinary person. It should be the ancestral grave of a cultivation family. The ancestral grave was originally sealed, but as time passed, the ancestral grave was connected to the underground river. By chance, the corpse-stabilizing pearl flowed into the pool. Yin Chujio nodded. The little grasshopper should not have lied to her. A few days ago, a few major forces had joined forces to investigate the bloodthirsty insect valley. If the ruins were really shocking, the news would have spread long ago. The 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug felt that it was necessary to show its desire to live so that it would not die. It said obsequiously, Master, although you have been infected with corpse chi because of the contract with me, the speed of the corpse transformation is very slow, so you don't have to worry too much. Perhaps one day, you will find a way to crack it. Yin Chujio glanced at the 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug that was being mentioned. A bug was a bug, and its intelligence was really worrying. Fortunately, she did not intend to kill it, or else it would have turned into a dead bug long ago. At this time, the Gowei Batsao in her dantian began to act cutely. To be more precise, it was showing off. Yin Chujio's heart moved, and she quickly cut off the spiritual connection with Sha Imo. She said to the 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug, Help me be on guard. No matter what happens to me later, don't get involved. Do you hear me? The 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug was confused, but it still nodded and stood to the side to be on guard. Immediately, Goei Batsao took over Hei Xinjia's body. It first waved its arms a few times in a smug manner before it said, "Little girl, why did you let me out? Do you need something from me? PM a person no am a grass. PM most willing to help others. Tell me, what is it that you need from me?" The 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug immediately widened its eyes. Oh my god, what is going on? Could it be that this pervert was possessed by something? Oh right, she had signed a contract with the devil. Could it be that she was possessed by the devil? Yin Chujio heard Goei Bakeo's smug words and said calmly, "Goei Batsao, you and I are now on the same boat. Even if I turn into a corpse, you won't be any better than me. Therefore it's not a matter of. We are just working together for a win-win situation." Although Yin Chujio's words were very calm, she was overjoyed in her heart. Since Goei Batsao was so smug, it must be able to swallow corpse chi. She was also dumbfounded. Since Goei Batsao could swallow corpse poison, it naturally could swallow corpse chi. Goei Batsao originally wanted to pinch Hei Xinjiu, but now that it was being rebuked, its aura immediately weakened. However, the conditions that needed to be mentioned still needed to be mentioned. I can help you dissolve the corpse chi, but this will consume my energy, so you have to compensate me. I want 10,000 gene of heaven rank herbs, 20,000 high-grade pills, and you have to let me out for a stroll. Otherwise, I won't care about you anymore. Anyway, even if you turn into a corpse, I can totally find another container. It's not like I have to rely on you. Yin Chujio sneered. Really? Then forget it. Anyway, I can't have sex with a gigolo because of voucher. It's meaningless to live for a long time. Why not go and harm the demon race? Maybe I can even make a name for myself in history. Chapter 58:31 Goei Batsao became anxious when she heard that. Don't. We can bargain in this business. If you think I want too much, we can discuss again. How about a 50% discount? Goei Ba. I was almost shot into a sieve by the thunder cone tree seed because of you. Is this how you repay me? Besides, devouring corpse chi should be beneficial to you, right? Let me ask you one last question. Are you going to help or not? Yin Chujio asked coldly. Goei Batsao was frightened by the cold chi emitted by Yin Chujio's spiritual sense. After weighing the pros and cons in his heart, he squeezed out a fake smile and said, I am joking with you. However, I really didn't lie to you. If it is corpse poison, I will swallow it and it can be replenished. However, the corpse chi is different from the corpse poison. If I wanted to dissolve it, it would take a lot of energy. However, who asked us to be so fated? I will give it all to you for free. Yin Chujio said calmly. Since you are so sensible, I will not mistreat you. There are still a lot of medicinal herbs in the little grasshopper's storage ring. I want to come over and feed it to you. The smile on Goei Bakeo's face immediately became much more sincere. Little girl, no grandmother, you are really a kind and good person. I will help you dissolve the corpse chi. After saying that, Goei Batsao returned the control of its body to Hei Xinjiu. It eagerly began to absorb the corpse chi that had invaded Yin Chujio's spiritual sense and body. Yin Chujio narrowed her eyes. This cunning Goei Batsao. It could have dissolved the corpse chi at the first moment the corpse chi invaded. But it had waited until today to show off. It was obviously trying to make her suffer in order to blackmail her. Trying to blackmail her? In your dreams. She waved at the dumbfounded 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug. Little grasshopper, come here. The 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug quickly came over and asked with a mysterious face. Master, what the hell was that? It can actually dissolve corpse chi? It can't be lying to you, right? I've never heard of anyone who can dissolve corpse at first. It thought that Yin Chujio had been possessed by the demon race. However, after hearing the muttering of Goei Batsao, it could also hear some clues, but it was still confused. It's a Goei Batsao that I raised. You don't have to ask. Also, when I talk to Sha Emo in the future, Don't mention this matter, understand? Yin Chujo said solemnly. Although the 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug was extremely curious, it didn't dare to ask too much. In its heart, it was still skeptical. Was there really something that could dissolve the corpse chi? Wasn't this too unbelievable? It quickly thought of another question. Io, what kind of ghost grass could dissolve the corpse chi? Wouldn't it be able to dissolve it? The 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug immediately shivered, feeling that its little life was even less secure. Due to the corpse chi infecting the corpse stabilizing pearl, its effects were no longer as good as before. Now it was only restricting its cultivation. This ghost grass that had appeared out of nowhere was its nemesis. It decided to keep its tail between its legs from now on, so that it wouldn't accidentally lose its life. After Yin Chujio finished instructing the 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor insect, she was about to return to the encampment when she heard Buttface say, "Little fairy, the old fool said that he has something important to say to you." Yin Chujio's heart stirred. She instructed the dumb cubs to keep their mouths shut about what had happened just now. Only then did she open Sha Emo's spiritual sense and lightly said, "Sha Emo, are you looking for me? Sha Emo, are you looking for me? Could it be that you've gotten over it and want to bring me to the demon continent to harm your demon race?" Chapter 5832. The Supreme Demonic Code. Sha Emo snorted coldly. "I've thought of a way to dissolve the corpse chi, but you have to agree to one condition of mine." Yin Chujio pretended to be overjoyed and said excitedly, "What? Is what you said true? Have you really thought of a way to dissolve the corpse chi? Tell me, what is it?" The other dumb cuties were already used to Hei Xinjia's acting attribute, but a certain little grasshopper did not know about it. Immediately her eyes widened. My goodness, no wonder I was deceived by her. This is simply the essence of acting. Seeing Yin Chujio's performance, Sha Emo sneered in his heart. No matter how cunning this wretched girl was, at this moment, her life was at stake, and she was also fooled. He suppressed the joy in his heart and said without batting an eyelid, "I can tell you this method, but you have to agree to my conditions." "What conditions?" "Cancel the contract between you and me and release me." Yin Chujio blinked her eyes. "Yes, but I have to prove that the method you said is effective. Otherwise, what if you lie to me? Besides, you said earlier that the corpse chi could not be dissolved. Why do you have a method now?" Sha Emo was not surprised that Yin Chujio would say that. He immediately said, "Initially, I also thought that the corpse chi could not be dissolved. However, after thinking hard for the past few days, I suddenly remembered something. I have told you before that among the 6 great demon clans, the Heavenly Demon Clan is the noblest. They also have many cultivation techniques that we cannot compare to. Among them, the most famous cultivation technique is the Supreme Demon Book. I've heard that the Supreme Demon Book has the effect of dissolving corpse chi. Since you're a demon, if you think of a way to cultivate the Supreme Demon Book, you can naturally dissolve the corpse chi on your body." Yin Chujio said with doubt, "Is what you said true? You told me the method. Aren't you afraid that I won't keep my word?" Sha Emo laughed. "Of course not, because without me, you won't be able to find the entrance to the demon continent in a short time. Without my recommendation, you won't even be able to be a part of the heavenly demon race, let alone cultivate the supreme demonic code. This is a serious matter, let me think about it," Yin Chujio said with some difficulty. Sha Emo seemed to have expected this situation, and said, "I know that you might have some concerns if I ask you to cancel the contract with me directly. How about this? You also know that I'm looking for someone. Help me inquire about this person first as a reward for providing you with the information." Yin Chujio narrowed her eyes. "Aren't you afraid that after I find that person, I'll tell the others that he's a demon and then—" "First, you're a demon. It's not good for you to do this. Second, and most importantly, you're afraid of death. If you do that, with your own strength, you won't be able to find the entrance to the demon continent in a short period of time. So, you can only cooperate with me," Sha Emo said with some certainty. Xiaomo racked his brains for a few days before he came up with such a perfect plan. This way, he could use the power of this stinky girl to find the person he thought of and restrain her. It was like killing two birds with one stone. Give me a day to think about it. I'll give you an answer tomorrow night, Yin Chujio said after thinking for a while. Okay. Xiaomo was very proud. Although he didn't show it clearly, Buttface and the other dumb cuties could see that he was in a good mood. The dumb cuties lit a candle in their hearts for him. The little fairy had clearly found a way to dissolve the corpse chi. But this old fool thought that his evil plan had succeeded. How pitiful. Chapter 5833. There is true love in the human world. The next night, Hei Shinjio once again established a spiritual connection with Xiaomo. Xiaomo, I agree to your conditions. I will help you find the person you are looking for first. Then I will go to the demon continent with you. At that time, I will restore your freedom. However, I will not cancel the demon god contract with you before we arrive at the demon continent. After we reach the demon continent and successfully interact with the heavenly demon race, I will break the contract with you. Although Xiaomo was not very satisfied with this result, it was already the biggest benefit he could fight for at the moment. Hence he nodded. All right, we will do as you say. Actually, we are both demons. There is really no need for us to be like fire and water. We should support each other. Yin Chujio sighed. What you said makes sense, but you're a legitimate demon. PM just a nameless wild demon now, so I have to plan for myself. Oh right. What clues do you have about the person you asked me to find? Xiaomo had made up his mind to cooperate with Yin Chujio for the time being, so he naturally did not hide anything. He said, I want to find the demon emperor of our demon race. That year, the demon emperor left the demon continent and said that he wanted to visit other continents. In the beginning, the demon emperor would occasionally send back some news, but later on, he completely lost contact. We found that the demon emperor's life lamp was almost extinguished, so we immediately sent many people to various continents to find the demon emperor. However, we didn't expect that many demons were killed by the human race for no reason. Naturally, we demons wouldn't let this go. We immediately went to the human race to reason with them. And in the end, a large-scale war broke out. Yin Chujio. Wasn't it recorded in the history books that the demons were ferocious and aggressive, taking the initiative to start a war? So it turned out to be a bloody case because they were looking for someone? This demon emperor was also the same. He was staying in the demon continent for no reason. Why did he come out to wander around for no reason? Is he crazy? After the war broke out, your demon emperor didn't show up? Yin Chujio asked curiously. Xiaomo sighed. Yes, His Majesty the Demon Emperor is the most protective. Logically speaking, when the demon race was in great trouble, he would definitely stand up. However, he didn't show up. He must have met with an accident. Fortunately, our demon race is immortal. His Majesty the Demon Emperor must have been reincarnated. When I think of how much suffering His Majesty the Demon Emperor has suffered in this lowly human continent, I feel very guilty. The more Xiaomo spoke, the sadder he became. In the end, he even burst into tears. Yin Chujio could feel that Xiaomo was truly sad. She sighed in her heart. Regardless of whether it was a human or a demon, they all had true feelings. It was true that there were true feelings in the human world. This fellow sighed for a while before saying, All right, don't cry anymore. In my opinion, this matter is also because of that so-called demon emperor of yours. Why did he wander around for no reason? If it wasn't for him wandering around, the demon race and the human race wouldn't have started a war. Before Yin Chujio could finish her words, Xiaomo interrupted her angrily. Shut up. If you continue to speak rudely to His Majesty the Demon Emperor, I will risk my old life to perish together with you. Yin Chujio was shocked by Xiaomo's angry roar and curled her lips. What are you shouting for? Am I wrong? What do you know? The Demon Emperor didn't come out for a stroll. In short, His Majesty the Demon Emperor has spent all his efforts for our demon race, and is worthy of every demon's loyalty. What I can do now is to find the reincarnation of His Majesty the Demon Emperor as soon as possible and escort him back to the demon continent so that he won't suffer in this lowly human continent again. Chapter 58 34 Demon Emperor. Hei Shinjo saw that Sha Emo was very excited, so she tactfully did not continue to provoke him. Instead, she said, after talking for a long time, "Is your demon emperor a man or a woman? How does he look? If you want me to help you find him, you should at least give me some clues, right? Our demon emperor is naturally a man. He is beautiful and unparalleled. He is the object of love for all the women of the demon race. I believe that even if he is reincarnated, our demon emperor will be extraordinary." Yun Chujo could not help but roll her eyes. This Sha Emo was a hardcore fan of the demon emperor. Alright. I know that your demon emperor is hard to find in the sky and hard to find on earth. But there are many handsome men. You have to give me some valuable clues, right? Otherwise, how can I find a needle in a haystack for you? Or, why don't you draw a portrait of your demon emperor and let me have a 100K? Sha Emo was instantly delighted. That's right, I forgot about this. Yun Chujo was speechless. This Sha Emo had most likely been locked up for a long time and had really become silly. She immediately let Sha Emo out and threw him a brush, ink, paper, and inkstone. She asked him to draw the demon emperor's face. Since there was a 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug watching the scene, she was not afraid that someone would come close to this place. Soon, Sha Emo finished drawing a portrait, which almost made Hei Shinjo cringe. Sha Emo's drawing skills were not bad. On the paper, he drew a man in luxurious clothes. However, what the fuck was that red mask on his face? What was the difference between this and no drawing? One could not see his real face at all. When she was complaining, she saw Sha Emo kneeling on the ground and kowtowing to the portrait respectfully. "Your Majesty, I've let you down. Don't worry. I will find you as soon as possible and escort you back to the demon continent." Hei Shinjo felt a bit touched despite being amused. Sha Emo was very loyal to the demon emperor. After Sha Emo stood up, Yun Chujo asked curiously, "Sha Emo PM confused. Why are you so loyal to the demon emperor?" As the saying goes, the emperor takes turns to be the emperor. When he comes to my home next year, is he so worthy of your loyalty? Sha Emo's eyes revealed a look of reverence. Perhaps you also know that 10,000 years ago, before the war between humans and demons, there was a great war between gods and demons. After the first great war between gods and demons, the demon race suffered heavy casualties. What was worse was that due to some reasons, the 6 great demon races began to fight non-stop. The entire demon race continent was in a bloody mess and was. He used his own strength to resolve the conflict between the 6 races, allowing the demon race continent to flourish once again. If not for the demon emperor, our demon race continent might have long ceased to exist. Therefore, the demon emperor is the savior of all the demons. He is worthy of our loyalty with our lives. Yun Chujo nodded. In that case, she could understand Sha Emo's actions. The devil emperor is so powerful. He should be from the heavenly devil race, right? Yun Chujo asked curiously. Sha Emo shook his head. No one knows where he came from, nor does anyone know his background. We all think that His Majesty the Devil Emperor was sent by the Devil God to save us. He might even be the reincarnation of the Devil God. Yun Chujo sighed. Sha Emo, although you have the portrait, you can't see his face at all. This doesn't have any reference. Is there no other clue? There is another clue. There is a bright red mark on the Demon Emperor's forehead. Legend has it that it is because of this mark that the Demon Emperor always wore that red mask. Sha Emo said. Chapter 58-35 Look like you? Nothing else? What else? There isn't any magic tool or anything like that that can sense him. Hei Shinjo was speechless. Although the red mole between her brows was a clue, it was not rare. Moreover, where could she find him in this vast sea of people? Sha Emo also knew that it would be more difficult to find him, So he said, "Look for him according to what I said. If you still can't find the Devil Emperor within 3 years, I will also tell you the entrance to the Devil Continent." Yin Chujio could only nod and put Xiaomo back into the spirit beast bag. Then she took a look at the portrait. In fact, she originally thought that the person Xiaomo was looking for was Xue Wuji. However, she didn't know Xiaomo's original intention, so she didn't reveal it. However, after looking at the portrait, she immediately dismissed the idea that the Demon Emperor was Xue Wuji. The man in the portrait was obviously thinner and smaller than Xue Wuji. Furthermore, Xue Wuji did not have a red mole on his forehead. Although it was normal for his appearance to change if he was reincarnated, Xiaomo said that even if he was reincarnated, the red mole would still exist. That would completely deny the possibility that Xue Wuji was the Demon Emperor. When the 1,000-year-old corpse Turtle Emperor saw that Yin Chujio had kept Xiaomo, it eagerly came over. Previously, it did not believe that this pervert had really taken in a demon. Now it seemed that it was absolutely true. Not only did it take in a demon, but it was also that kind of old demon. It seemed that even if it fell into her hands, it was normal, and it was not considered a disgrace. The 1,000-year-old corpse Turtle Emperor looked at the portrait curiously and said in surprise, Master, why does this portrait look like you? Look at this figure, this face shape, it's obviously you." Yin Chujio glared at it. "Are you blind? This is a man, okay? Although I have a figure, yes, I'm a little thin, but I'm still a woman, okay? Besides, I don't have a red mole between my eyebrows. How could I be the Demon Emperor?" The 1,000-year-old corpse Turtle Emperor was scolded so much that it shrunk its neck. "That's true. I was wrong." Although it said that in its heart it was mumbling. It looked very similar, okay? But there was a difference between a man and a woman. It was probably a coincidence. It lowered its voice. "Master, are you really going to help that old demon find the Demon Emperor? Your corpse energy has already been dissolved. Why are you still lying to him?" Yin Chujio curled her lips. "It's fun, what do you care?" The 1,000-year-old corpse Turtle Emperor bug. Yin Chujio ignored it, put away the portrait, and walked back to the camp. The 1,000-year-old corpse Turtle Emperor bug followed behind embarrassedly. When it was about to reach the camp, it disguised itself as Deputy Director Xiophus' usual appearance. He had just entered his tent when Xiao Lianxiao came. She said unhappily, "Second uncle, why have you been so close to that Yin Qingqing recently? You can't be drugged by her, right? Why are you suddenly so good to her?" The 1,000-year-old corpse Turtle Emperor said with a cold face, "Stupid. We fought with her before. If I don't stabilize her a little, what if she won't forgive me when I return to the academy?" Xiao Lianxiao said indifferently, "What are you afraid of her for? At the very most, PLL let grandfather step in. Second uncle, if this Yin Qingqing doesn't die, I won't be able to get the Northern Yu. Please help me think of a way to kill her tomorrow, during the trial." The 1,000-year-old corpse Turtle Emperor bug cursed in its heart. If it had a way to kill that pervert, it would have done it long ago. Why wait until now? Xiao Lianxiao saw that it did not say anything and pleaded, "Second uncle, you loved me the most in the past. Please help me again. As long as I kill Yin Qingqing, I will definitely have a way to get the Northern Imperial Army." The 1,000-year-old corpse Turtle Emperor insect was already filled with anger after being rebuked by Yin Chujio. Looking at Xiao Lianxiao, who was chattering non-stop, it suddenly became furious and gave her a hard slap. "You useless thing, get lost." Chapter 5836 The Insect's Life could not be saved. Xiao Lianxiao was simply stunned by the beating. Her face, which had been swollen by the 1,000-year-old corpse Turtle Emperor insect, was finally restored to its original state after much difficulty. She did not expect that it would turn into a pig's head again. "Second uncle, you hit me? Previously, you hit me, saying that it was for others to see. This time there are only the two of us. Why did you hit me? I want to send a message to grandfather, asking him to make the decision for me." Xiao Lianxiao said with tears. The 1,000-year corpse turtle emperor insect was somewhat regretful. If that pervert knew that it had ruined the matter, he definitely wouldn't forgive it. So it quickly made up for it. Sigh. If you're willing to tell, then tell. Hitting your body and hurting my heart. I was too anxious. Xiao Lianxiao saw that it was regretful and distressed, so she took out the voice transmission talisman and put it back. Second uncle. What do you mean by this? The 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor saw that she put away the voice transmission talisman and heaved a sigh of relief. You're thinking too simply. Even if we want to make a move, we can't do it this time. The previous incident was so big. If anything happens to Yin Qingcheng, we'll be the first suspect. That's not all. The main thing is that Nangong Shi and Jiang Shuangli have been keeping an eye on Yin Qingcheng's whereabouts. If they catch us, won't we be in trouble? Don't worry. In a few days, you will be brought to the Six Harmonies Waterside Pavilion to train. At that time, I will think of a way to get rid of her. These words were told by He Xinjiu to deal with Xiao Lianxiao. She did not expect them to come in handy so soon. Xiao Lianxiao saw that what the 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor insect said made sense. Although she was reluctant, she still nodded. All right, second uncle, PLL listen to you. Second uncle, it's not that I'm too impatient. The main thing is that Jianzhiyu, that bitch, will be back in a few days. When that time comes, it'll be attacked from both sides. It'll be even more difficult to deal with. How would the 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor insect know what the hell Jianzhiyu was? It could only vaguely say, it'll make the decision for you. What are you afraid? Xiao Lianxiao nodded gratefully. Second uncle, I knew that you loved me the most. Then I'll go back first. Okay. After Xiao Lianxiao left, the 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor eagerly told Yin Chujiu about what had happened. This guy wanted to hide it, but Xiao Lianqiu's swollen face could not be hidden. Yin Chujiu did not say anything, she just told it to be more careful in the future. The 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor let out a sigh of relief. It cursed in its heart. This little pervert was not so hard to please. It recalled the conversation between Yin Chujiu and Xiaomo from before. The more it thought about it, the more it felt that the devil emperor and that little pervert in the portrait were very imaginary. Could this little pervert really be the devil emperor? Regardless of whether it was the devil emperor or not, this little pervert was not an ordinary pervert. It would definitely be obedient in the future, so that it would not accidentally lose its life. In the next few days, the progress of the trial was very smooth. With the 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug as a cover, He Xinjiu was very handy in absorbing the power of the lightning hidden underground. On the day before the scheduled return journey, a sudden change occurred. The 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug looked at the gathering dark clouds in the sky and felt the increasing pressure. Its face immediately turned pale with fright. It used its spiritual perception to say to Yin Chujiu, Wu Yin, you're dead. Master, it's over. It's over. This time, I can't save my life. Tian Dao must know that I've possessed a human body, so he came to strike me. Why am I so unlucky? Didn't I just possess a fool's body? Is there a need for such a huge battle to strike me? Woo, I really can't survive this time. Chapter 5837. It seemed that it had been deceived again after listening to the 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug's words. He Xinjiu said with a righteous look, Little grasshopper, don't worry. I'm the most protective person. Since you're my bug, I'll protect you even if I have to risk my life. When the heavenly lightning strikes later, you can take the others and leave. Leave everything to me. The 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug couldn't believe its ears. The little pervert was actually so good to it. He actually risked his life to save it knew its own limits. Its status definitely couldn't compare to the spiritual pets that this little pervert had previously taken in. Moreover, because of it, the little pervert had been infected with corpse chi. It would be good enough if it didn't kill it. Who would have thought that during a time of danger, she would actually say such heartfelt words? It really touched it. Master, Wu, you are really too good to me. If I am lucky enough to not die this time, I will definitely repay you well in the future. The 1,000-year corpse turtle emperor insect said emotionally. Yin Chujio said indifferently, You are my insect, I will naturally protect you. Hearing this, the 1,000-year corpse turtle emperor insect felt that it had acknowledged a good master that was hard to find in the world. Now even if Hei Shinjio wanted it to die, it was also willing. The other dumb cubs in the spirit beast bag were extremely sympathetic to a certain stupid grasshopper. If one day it found out the truth, would it cry out? At this time, Lecturer Yao walked forward with a worried expression and said, Vice-Chancellor Xiao, there will be heavenly lightning descending on this 100 Pits mountain range very soon. Let's quickly find a safe place to hide. The 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug nodded in agreement. It could not wait to hide. This was heavenly lightning, how frightening it was. However, what everyone didn't expect was that Wu Yun would follow them no matter which direction they hid in. It was as if he wouldn't stop until they were killed. The 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug was about to cry. It was over, it was over. Tian Dao was determined to kill it. At this moment, Hei Xinjia's voice was transmitted from its spiritual perception. I've contaminated your corpse qi. I can use some other methods to lure Wu Yun away. After I go missing, don't let Nangong Shi and Jiang Shuangli look for me. The 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor insect was extremely touched. It must have saved the divine enlightenment continent in its previous life. Otherwise, how could it have met such a good master? Master, every insect has its own way of doing things. The heavenly lightning. Let me distract Wu Yun. The 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor insect said tragically. The insect would die for its best friend. Since the little pervert was so good to it, how could it just watch her die for it? Seeing it like this, Hei Shinjio felt a rare pain in her conscience, so she comforted it. Don't worry. I have the heavenly lightning spiritual root, so I can withstand more lightning strikes than you. Moreover, don't I still have an old devil? If it really can't, then bring him out, and take the lightning strikes for me. The 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor saw that Yin Chujia's attitude was firm, and what she said made sense, so it could only agree. At this time, the dark clouds were pressing down, and the sky was completely dark. Hei Shinjio took advantage of the fact that everyone's attention was on the dark clouds, and slithered into the bushes next to Wu Yun. Then she trotted away from everyone. Almost at the moment that she left, the dark clouds in the sky also moved. The 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug's eyes turned red when it saw Wu Yun leaving. It swore with its life that from now on, it would be the little pervert's bug. It would never abandon it. The 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug had just finished swearing when it suddenly thought of a question. The heavenly lightning spirit root seemed to be forbidden by the Tian Dao. So the question was the heavenly lightning here to strike it, or the little pervert? It seemed to have been deceived again. Chapter 5838. No less the more the 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor insect thought about it, the more it felt that its guess was right. It was angry and helpless. This little pervert was simply the essence of acting, making it impossible for the insect to guard against him. When it thought about the poison vow that it had just made, it wished that it could give it a slap. It was simply too stupid. However, what it had just made was the death vow of the insect race. It could not cancel it at all. Woo, it wanted to die. On the other side, Hei Shinjio jogged all the way, and when she saw Wu Yun chasing after her, she was practically bursting with joy. Although the lightning strike stone could also be used for cultivation, how could it be as powerful as the heavenly lightning? This heavenly lightning came at just the right time. To be on the safe side, this fellow ran all the way without stopping, running for more than 100 by li in one breath before stopping. She raised her head and looked at Wu Yun, who followed closely behind. Wasn't this the piece of cloud that struck her in the lower house last time? Was he here to take revenge? Hey, silly yin in the sky, are you here to take revenge on me? Come and strike me. Hei Shinjio said provocatively, looking as if she was asking for a beating. Wu Yin in the sky was quite angry. He immediately sent a bolt of lightning to strike He Xinjiu. He Xinjiu was struck by the lightning, and she said with satisfaction, "It feels good. It feels good. It feels really good. Little silly Yin, come, strike miss a few more times." The dark clouds in the sky were almost fuming with anger. How could such a freak appear in the divine enlightenment continent? It would definitely strike her to death today. Boom, boom, boom. Several bolts of lightning struck He Xinjiu again. He Xinjiu thought that it was better to have fun alone than to have fun together. So she took out Xiao Mogu, Xiao Hanio, and the phoenix egg that had been difficult to give birth to for several years to be struck. This fellow thought for a moment, and also released its red claws. The whole family had to be together in an orderly fashion, not a single one missing. The other cute pets in the spirit beast bag. Are they ghosts? Xiao Hanio's ability to attract aggro was not inferior to He Xinjiu's. One of its short wings was placed on its waist, while the other pointed at the sky and said, "Hey, little fool in the sky, what are you standing there for? Go ahead and strike. Could it be that you've been charmed by my beauty? I advise you to give up on this idea. I've long had my heart set on someone else, and I don't fancy ugly clouds like you." Wu Yin in the sky was obviously very angry. Xiao Hanio burped and said lazily, "This little bit of lightning is not enough to fill the gaps between my teeth. Come again if you have the ability." Wu Yin in the sky was so angry that he kept shaking. Xiao Hanio received a few lightning strikes as he wished. He was very happy in his heart. TSK, he was not an idiot like Buttface. What was the point of flattering him for no reason? It was only true to improve his cultivation. The strong were respected. As long as he cultivated well, the position of the number one spirit pet would always be his. After 15 minutes, Xiao Hanio and the other two were full. He Xinjiu put them away, and continued to provoke Wu Yin. Bolts of lightning struck He Xinjiu's body one after another. Although the lightning strikes were quite accurate, it was inevitable that they would miss. Soon, a deep pit appeared where He Xinjiu was. As time passed, the surroundings of the deep pit began to collapse, and the area grew larger and larger. He Xinjiu, who was almost buried alive, finally managed to escape with little Wu Yin. Looking at the deep pit that continued to collapse under her feet, a strange thought rose in her mind. Oh my! Could it be that this 100-pit mountain range was a sin that she had committed in her previous life? Also, could it be that she was also the one who had done those holes in the lightning strike canyon? Chapter 5839. Wicked He Xinjiu touched her nose guiltily. She was really lively in her previous life. She had snatched the bell and the little wooden fish from the Bitter Zen sect, and turned Hun Dun into a bald lady. It seemed that De Hua had become a bachelor because of her sins. Now even the Baikung mountain range had something to do with her? Cough cough, she must have thought too much. It must have nothing to do with her. After all, she had always been very quiet. Wu Yin in the sky was even more confused than she was, because it saw the little Wu Yin that He Xinjiu was sitting on. How was this possible? How could humans contract their noble Wu Yin? It must be an illusion. Yes, it was an illusion. However, it looked and looked again. The one flying in the pit was clearly a little Wu Yin. Although the cloud wings were still young, and the cultivation level was still shallow, it was indeed a little Wu Yin. Wu Yin immediately began to plan. If it swallowed the small dark cloud, wouldn't it be a waste to pick up a few cloud wings? The more Wu Yin thought about it, the more excited he became. While he continued to strike He Xinjiu with the heavenly lightning, he sneakily began to approach the small dark cloud. As the distance between them got closer and closer, Wu Yin became more and more excited. As long as he got closer, he could wrap the small dark cloud into the sky and forcefully swallow it. Just as it was getting excited, it suddenly saw Yin Chujio take out a strange-looking object and shoot some red liquid at it. Wu Yin did not care at all. What was it? It was Wu Yin. Anything poisonous would be useless against it. This stupid girl was really naive. At this moment, the red liquid shot onto one of Wu Yun's wings. Wu Yun, who was feeling proud, was dumbfounded. That was because it realized that it had lost control of the wings. The wings flew towards Wu Yun happily, and it was instantly fused with Wu Yun. Wu Yun, who am I? Where am I? What am I doing? Just as it was stunned, it realized that Yin Chujio was going to spray the liquid on it again. It immediately flew back into the sky. It was too terrifying. Too terrifying. What on earth was this stinky girl shooting at? It actually made its cloud wings betray it. Yin Chujio sighed regretfully. She was so close to getting another cloud wing. After Wu Yun's panic, it was filled with endless anger. It had to kill this stinky girl today. As long as she died, its cloud wings would come back. Thus, continuous heavenly lightning struck down at Hei Shinjio. At first, Hei Shinjio was able to withstand it. Later, when she saw that the heavenly lightning was getting stronger and stronger, she released Gowei Batsao to help her resist it. When her spiritual power was alm, she did not open the spiritual connection with Shaimo previously, so Shaimo had no idea what was happening outside. He was released out of the blue, and thought that Yin Chujio wanted to discuss with him about finding the demon emperor. Who would have thought that as soon as he was released, he would be struck by a few heavenly lightning bolts? Shaimo almost fainted from anger. He had seen wicked people before, but this was the first time he had seen such wicked people. Fortunately, Hei Shinjio still had a use for him. After letting him help withstand a few heavenly lightning bolts, she put him back into the spirit beast pouch. Wu Yin in the sky was obviously not well prepared this time. After Hei Xinjia's torment, its lightning power was almost used up. One could imagine the depression in its heart. Not only did it fail to take revenge, but it also lost a cloud wing. It had to hold its breath as much as possible. It was furious in its heart. Damned girl, just you wait. We'll see. Wu Yin trembled violently a few times and flew away in a fluster. Chapter 5840. I had another epiphany, lecturer Yao, and the others watched as the Wu Yin finally drifted away. Only then did their hearts, which had been hanging in the air, finally come to a realization. It was too terrifying. Fortunately, there was still some distance between them and the Wu Yin. Otherwise, none of them would have survived. The 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug felt both happy and shocked when it realized that Yin Chujio was fine. Although it was beyond a certain distance, and its master and spiritual pet could no longer communicate with each other, it could still feel the connection of spiritual sense. Oh my God, what kind of monster is this? How could such a powerful heavenly lightning not kill her? How did she do it? However, it was also true. A monster that could contract with such a great king of the insect clan was naturally not ordinary. In this case, it was not a disgrace for the insect clan to be deceived so many times. Just when the 1,000-year corpse turtle emperor insect was comforting itself, Nangongshi said loudly, "Director Xiaofu, now that the heavenly lightning has stopped, it's time for us to find Yin Qingqing, right?" Previously, when Nangongshi realized that Yin Qingqing was missing, he immediately wanted to look for her, but was stopped by the 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug. The 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor bug nodded. Of course. Let's look for Yin Qingqing together. Xiao Lianxiao curled her lips at the side, who allowed her to act on her own accord. She deserved to be struck by lightning. Does she really think she's that great? She's just a trash at the 7th level of the divine enlightenment realm, yet she still recklessly walks around. She's really courting death. Nangongshi glared fiercely at Xiao Lianxiao. But in his heart, he also blamed Hei Shinjio. In such a dangerous situation, why are you walking around? Can't you stop for a while? If something really happened to her, how would he explain it to Ding Wenru when he went back? Nangongshi was stunned when he thought of this. Why did he have to explain it to Ding Wenru? Well, everyone was familiar with each other, so they naturally had to explain. Well, that was it. Everyone searched and searched until they finally heard a cry for help near a sinkhole. Help! Help! Someone save this peerless beauty. Everyone. Why did he suddenly not want to save her? Nangong Shi and Jiang Shuangli were very happy. It was great that Yin Qingqing was not dead. Lecturer Yao lowered the rope. 15 minutes later, He Xinjiu climbed up. Everyone looked at He Xinjiu, who was shining above their heads, with their mouths agape. He Xinjiu did not mind. She took out a handkerchief and tied. Lecturer Yao reprimanded. Yin Qingqing, why did you leave the team without permission? How did you come to the bottom of this sinkhole? Yin Chujiu said with some excitement and some lingering fear. Lecturer Yao, when I was retreating earlier, I suddenly had an epiphany. Due to the sudden turn of events, I didn't have time to greet all of you. By the time I successfully had an epiphany, I would have turned into this wretched state. Epiphany? Only then did everyone realize that Yin Chujiu's cultivation had actually soared from the 7th layer of the divine revelation to the 1st layer of the divine summoning. It seemed like she really had an epiphany. After all, if it wasn't for the epiphany, it was impossible for her to break through so many layers of cultivation. It was really fucking unreasonable. Didn't this Yin Qingqing just have an epiphany? Why did she have an epiphany again? Xiao Lianxiao was both jealous and resentful. She questioned, that's not right. Even if you had an epiphany, you shouldn't have appeared outside Bai Li. You must be lying. He Xinjiu cursed silently in her heart. How did this idiot suddenly become smart? Fortunately, she was already prepared. She said somewhat confusedly, I don't know about this. As everyone knows, when I had an epiphany, I knew nothing about the outside world. I had an epiphany in a bush. Who knows how I fell into this pit? At this moment, a lecturer pointed at the edge of the sinkhole and said, everyone look at this fault. It's all new soil. The edge of the pit is the same. Therefore, this sinkhole should have been formed from a new collapse. Previously, because the sound of thunder was too loud, we didn't hear the sound of a collapse. Presumably, the place where Yin Qingqing was originally collapsed, so it fell into this sinkhole. Chapter 5841. Blowing up a wall. Beating someone up when everyone saw that it was true. They immediately felt that what the lecturer said was very reasonable. However, this Yin Qingqing was really lucky. She fell into a pit and was struck by lightning, but she was actually completely fine. It couldn't be said that she was fine. After all, her hair had been chopped off. Alright, this matter ends here. Let's leave this place as soon as possible to avoid any unnecessary complications, said the 1,000-year-old corpse turtle emperor insect with a cold face. Xiao Lianxiao could only keep quiet when she heard it. She was secretly resentful. Why didn't the heavenly lightning strike this Yin Qingqing to death? What a pity. Everyone immediately returned. After leaving the Baihang mountain range, Yin Chujiu received a voice transmission talisman from Di Baiming. He said that the academy had arranged for him and a few other people to go out for training, and they would be back in a few days. Yin Chujiu did not mind. The two of them had gathered less and separated more. They were already used to this kind of day. She sent her spiritual sense into another voice transmission talisman. It was from Ding Wenru. Ding Wenru's angry and anxious voice came from the talisman. Qingqing, the talisman division is going too far. They took over a part of our courtyard and said that we only have 2 people. We don't need such a big courtyard at all. Yin Chujiu immediately narrowed her eyes and asked, Sister Ding, I just received your message. What's the situation now? After a while, she received Ding Wenru's message. We'll talk about it when you come back. It won't be clear in a few sentences. Yin Chujiu had obtained some information from this short sentence. It seemed that things were worse than she had imagined. She would talk about it when she went back. On this day, everyone finally arrived at the dock of the upper house. As soon as Yin Chujiu entered the upper house, she felt some people pointing at her. She seemed to be gloating over her misfortune. Yin Chujiu ignored them and went straight back to the prehistoric branch. As soon as she pushed open the door, her expression turned ugly. Although the original prehistoric branch could not be compared to the other branches, it was still very spacious. Now there was only a narrow strip left, and the new stone wall of the talisman seal branch on the right was particularly dazzling. Moreover, the original stone tables and stone stools in the courtyard had also disappeared. Some of the flowers and plants that she had planted had also turned into withered leaves and branches. Sister Ding PM back. Yun Chujio shouted a few times before Ding Wenru limped out of the house. Yun Chujio saw that Ding Wenru's face had not fully recovered from the injury, and that she was limping as she walked. Her face immediately darkened. Who hit you? Ding Wenru refused to say at first, but in the end, Yun Chujio asked anxiously, who hit you? The talisman seal faculty sent some odd job workers to build the wall, so I naturally wanted to argue with them. But I was beaten up by some students of the talisman seal faculty, and the things in the yard were also smashed by them. The academy didn't show up? They just let you get beaten up for nothing? Yun Chujio's voice didn't have any fluctuations, but it was frighteningly cold. Ding Wenru sighed. Because the talisman seal faculty was involved in more people, the law didn't punish the masses. They just let them apologize to me and compensate me with some spirit stones. Although I was unwilling, I was alone and could only swallow this cowardice. Qingqing, forget it. There are only 2 people from our primal faculty. We won't be able to win against them. Moreover, my injuries have recovered. It's not a big deal. Forget it. My people are also people that they can touch. Who hit you? Can you still remember? Ding Wenru asked somewhat apprehensively. I can remember. But Qingqing, what are you going to do? Yun Chujio said coldly. Blow up the wall and beat people up. That you're tuning in to the Li Mei's Sword of Destiny YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.